Man, you made a mess.
When?
Right now. Look at this. Look at all this. Look at all this packaging material. Holy cow. Well, as promised.
Do you guys remember
Yeah, that was the box from Saturday.
Yeah.
We actually went over to YouTube and did an unboxing of it. Yeah. So what is it that we're talking about? It is a frostbite enclosure.
Right here.
So frostbite boxes, we talk about these guys. You can get them at frostbite.com or find them right here on Instagram at frostbitebox.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, they sent us an enclosure. They sent us a pretty letter that we read over on YouTube, so we won't make you guys suffer through that again. But head over to YouTube, definitely, and check out the unboxing video. These guys package these things amazingly. Amazingly well. And the reason why they do that is because the boxes can get color-coded in vinyl.
Correct.
So they did. They covered ours in vinyl. Would you guys like to see the box? Oh, look at you. You're a total tease. Oh, but you can kind of see what color it is. Yeah, so you're just promoting that, man. Just throwing that up there. So they were kind enough to reach, they reached out and said, hey, is there anybody, that is in car audio? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, do you guys want to talk about our boxes? And at the time, I'd already reached out to them previously, not for my own personal use.
Right, because you wanted something for the Camaro.
Yeah. And they make beautiful, custom-made sealed enclosures.
Very colorful.
Very colorful. Everything is stacked fab, so everything has like an arc to it or a triangle shape to it or not a triangle.
So if you guys want to know what are we talking about, go to Frostbite here on Instagram.
Yeah,
and you can see
their boxes.
The boxes that they made.
So they made us a special box, this one here, that they hadn't made yet, and I was excited because they're a kicker dealer, so they do a lot of boxes with kickers, but they'll do boxes for anybody. It really doesn't matter. But what I liked about this particular box is they made it for the Square L7 shallows. So a lot of you guys have been asking about the Square L7s, but there's you have to have a custom box built. Super expensive. These guys are set up to do that right off the bat. They can make you a box, but let's just check it out first. Let's see what it looks like.
Look at that.
Look at that.
It's not one. It's not two.
It's 4 LC. I'm sorry, LC.
L7Ts.
Yeah, there we go.
Shallow.
So they put their cool logo in it. They asked us what color we wanted. Now this one is for an F-150. So this will slide up underneath the seat of an F-150. Obviously it's up firing. We could fit 4 of those 8s, which we'll be doing at some point later on. The box.
On each side.
So I'm going to shoot down here real quick and give you, so the corners are all stack fabbed. The top obviously is, they have vinyl. It's grooved. There's their cool logo. It's a sexy enclosure for sure. It's very sexy. It's 3/4. It's nice and thick, so I don't have to worry about it doing anything, bad. But they don't just make truck boxes. They obviously make boxes for cars.
Yeah.
They're real sexy.
Oh yeah.
I like them. I was a fan before they reached out to us, as I said, and
I remember that you told me. Did you ever see these yellow, orange, and blue boxes? I'm like, what are you talking about? No.
Yeah, they're cool.
So then it's like, okay, wow, yeah. Triangle boxes, like it's.
You gotta check them out.
Yeah, you gotta.
So they make like a corner box that it's not made to go into the corner of the Camaro, but I've seen it sitting. It's like a teardrop shape that goes over into the back. I'm thinking about that one. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Yeah. You know me. Can't decide on anything when it comes to my car.
Nope.
But anyways, if you want to see the unboxing, if you're interested in a box, definitely reach out to them for pricing.
Yes, definitely. You
go to frostbitebox.com.
Mm-hmm.
They're reasonable. They're very reasonable for what you're getting, which is a custom box. Just do it. Exactly.
Just do it.
I need to. But it's a custom box built for your vehicle, for your subwoofer, made to order over the webs, that are just pretty. I mean, a lot of people will build just square 6-sided. These, I don't think there's anything square. They don't do square boxes. You got to check them out. They're really cool. Everything is pretty like this. And this is super pretty. I mean, I love the fact that they countersink this area, and here, as you can see, there's a nice bevel to it so that the woofer, you don't lose any room for excursion.
That's
it's not just sitting flush.
USA.
They are made in the USA.
They are in where? Nebraska?
I don't remember. I don't pay attention to that stuff. But the box came beautifully wrapped.
Yeah. Beautifully
wrapped. And I mean, if you think about it, this is vinyl. So, if anything's going to get messed up, it's going to be something covered in vinyl. And this just feels good. Feels nice. They did a really nice job getting all of this into here.
Christmas is coming, so
I should have got a red and green box, right? Yeah. So super cool. Thanks. Let's thank Frostbite Box for sending this out to us to show with you guys. And of course, I'm sure we'll talk about it tonight on Facebook, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Mm-hmm. We'll be live. We'll be answering your questions. It is a full Q&A show on Monday. Yeah. That's right. So we get to do the Monday Q&A show. And I think that brings this one to an end.
Yep.
Make sure you head over to Facebook. Make sure you head over to YouTube. Check out the unboxing of this thing. It's real short. It's only like 5 or 6 minutes, so it's nothing. But just see how they package these things up, the care that they take to make sure that when you order something from them, it comes perfect. It's not going to get messed up. We like that. All right, this has been 5 Minutes with 5 Star, the most hated aspect ratio video on the internet. Thanks, guys, for watching.
I'm with you guys, but what can
so
you
am I. I hate it, but
it,
all right.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Ho, 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 Santa, because it's Christmas.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
Bye. Wednesday. What is he doing? Hey, everyone, and welcome to 5 Minutes with 5 Star, the most hated aspect ratio on the internet. What is going on, people? We thought we'd come on this morning and show you the Mustang. If you guys caught the Monday show or the Monday rebroadcast show, this was the car in the background of the show. We just got it all finished up. Morel's in the house. What's going on? Give Morel some love, people. Come on, throw it up some gang signs for Morel. It's an M. Let's do this. Whoa, Morel. Yay. Okay, so we just finished the Mustang. Fernando's in there doing some glamour shots. Ooh, look at that. Wow. So this one was also, if you guys caught on the Instagram feed, the picture of the Mustang Focal mounts. That was for this car. We made a battery holder here on the Laser. I think it's too big, but hey, you know what else? Why not? We got the audio control. Now, I thought it'd be neat to show. If you'll notice here, okay, so the amplifier's on risers, and so are the power wires. So if you'll notice right here, this is another piece of 1/2 inch that the power wires come out and sit on. This also gave us the ability to sink the battery box into the floor an extra 1/2 inch, along with adding these to hold it all in place. So these are going through a full inch of plastic, washers, nuts, and all that other fun stuff. Now what's holding all this in place is a third piece of plastic that's mounted up underneath it, and that is actually riveted into the car with nutserts or whatever you want to call them. And this is then attached to that, so it's not going anywhere. But you guys are always worried about how the RCAs and speaker wire runs. Well, they're on a 1/2 inch platform all on their own. Everything runs over to this side of the car. Now, buried up back here where you can't see in the dark depths of the world, you'll never see it, is the crossovers. They're mounted on another panel hidden far away from the eyes so that signal, no one can see it.
Power.
Yeah, so we got 0 gauge. We're using the Stinger X fuse Now what you'll see here is you're like, wait a minute, where's this guy's power wire? Well, these are the Stinger X. So see that little yellow spot right there? That's the jumper that connects this to make this a fuse distribution. It's not just a fuse holder, it can be fuse distribution. Now this one here, the reason why this is black is this is coming from the main battery, looping back around and going into here, out of here, into our fuse distribution, over off to the amplifiers. We're using 2 amplifiers, 2 fuse holders. So that's why there's 3 fuse holders here. The grounds, I'm a big fan of just letting the grounds go and be grounds and connect to their own. So the battery has its own ground. And all the other amplifiers have their own grounds as well. All comes in through here. Now, if you'll notice, here's another riser. So this is because this had to cross here. So this power wire here is sitting on its own riser. Big fan of the risers. And of course, the amplifiers are going to get plenty of air, so that they'll be able to breathe. Hey, can you pop the trunk for me?
Yeah. Pop the trunk.
Pop the trunk. Now, you guys always ask us how we mount subwoofer boxes down. For this one, this takes up a whole bunch of room. It's a Rockford factory box with P3s coming off that LC 1.800. If you'll notice this piece of plastic here, all right, this is mounted from the underside of the panel. The box will still lift up and come out, but this is going to keep that box from sliding, so it's not going to come back. And let's see if we can get in here. Can you shine the light in there? Let me see. I'm gonna go deep, guys. Ooh, can we see him?
Yeah, I can see him.
All right, so there's the Focal crossovers. The rivet into the side panel over there, you can't see them. We have our connectors, but that's where the crossovers are hidden. Back away, back into that corner, looking all out of the way and sexy. So now when he takes off like a bat out of hell running this Mustang, the box isn't gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna... Now, the one thing I will tell you we found is that go ahead and leave just a little bit of wiggle room on this. Let the box move just a little, okay? Because that'll take all that force off of this. A lot of people like to use metal brackets and mount them into things, and then they just rip out of the floor. Let the box have a little bit of wiggle room. It'll make things so much easier. This is a Mustang. So the three-way Focal sit went into the doors. One thing I will tell you about this, we found this out late last night. The factory brackets, these things up here, they are too deep for a set of Focals, meaning they stick out too far. So we had to, at the last minute, the reason why it stayed the night, we had to pull those back out, make brand new baffles out of 1/2 inch so that these would go in, because what we were like, why are the door, even though we road killed the heck out of this thing, we're still getting a lot of vibration. It was because the mid bass was right there, right on the door panel. So took those out real quick, put in a thinner one, so now we have a gap that we needed.
It's because the Flax, it has bigger surround. So
well, it's a bigger surround, plus it's like a 1/4 inch basket because it's aluminum.
Out, so, yeah.
So you don't need to screw the box into the sheet metal. Well, no, why? You know, what is it? Where's it going? Where's it gonna go?
And then he wanna.
It's just gonna rip out of the sheet metal anyways, because it's not unless you're welding brackets. Plus, he still has to get to the spare tire.
So this, lift it, pull it out, get your spare tire out. That was concern about the spare tire.
Big yes.
Concern about, I want to keep my spare tire. So there you go. That's it.
They do keep us open and they do keep us busy. But yeah, so there you go, factory radio. The DSR-1 is mounted into the factory corner over there. Not that exciting to look at. We just make a mount that attaches it to the factory brackets. But there we go, so one other quick look here. The other thing he wanted to do was add some blue accent lighting up underneath the seats here. Slide that seat forward, if you don't mind. Slide it forward, kind sir. So as he brought in some lights, and they turn off because they're hooked up to the remote turn on with a relay, lots of relays, so everything does what it's supposed to do. All right, let's flip this guy around. So that's what has been going on for the last couple days. I'm just happy it's gone. Now he was going for extreme volume.
Yeah.
He wants it as loud as he can get it, which means there's rear fill.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you a question. If you have a chance, can you answer? Where did you send the question to?
Over here.
Because that's the real question, is where is the question? Because I get questions on all social medias, and sometimes I just can't get to them.
So that's the rear fill right here.
Oh, if we're gonna show the rear fill. Yeah, so he's got Focal Flax in there for rear fill. And they're running full out boogie, man. I can see him. No, the phone is doing great with its low light.
Okay, perfect.
So they're doing full loud, no time alignment done in this, just straight EQ out of the DSR-1.
Yep.
And that's it. So he wants maximum loudness. there again, that doesn't mean it can't be loud. If we would have done time alignment and give it would, because every one we do is super loud. But he wants old school sound coming from here, sound coming from there, sound coming all around your head, and it does that. He wants the Oprah Winfrey sound. Good morning, I sent you. Okay. Through DM, is there a chance you can look at? I can always try. There is a chance. I will if I have time. Where's Fernando from? Mexico City, Mexico.
Thank you. Bobby knows.
Bobby knows. Yeah.
Bobby knows.
Yeah. I'm planning on getting the two-way set in the front focal flax. Is there a huge difference going to the three-way power? There's a huge difference in the power requirements.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different things you can do between the two. So for one, the three-way set is obviously a wider range. There are different crossover points. The mid-bass doesn't play up as high as the mid-bass that comes in the two-way set because the mid-range is, so you're going to get a lot more mid-range. They both sound amazing. We can just get that off the board. With the three-way set, you do need more power, or you might want to consider going active. This has the 6-channel amplifier because he wanted power. 1 and 2 driver's door, 3 and 4 passenger door. Tons of power, lots of power, screaming. That's what we were going for here. We did the same thing in the Jetta on the video where we showed how to wire up an amplifier like Dean. Same basic scenario, just shoehorned into a Mustang.
Correct.
The one cool thing about the two-way set is there's a couple different ways you can hook it up. The two-way set has a bi-ampable crossover. So you can run a 4-channel amplifier directly into it, 2 channels for the mids, 2 channels for the tweeter. You can do it where you just have 1 input for left, 1 input for right. And of course you can go full active. So the two-way set is kind of cool as far as you have a lot more options.
Yeah.
What do you think of the 2 12-inch JL Stealth box for the F-150? I have never heard the 212 box for the F-150. If you want a loud 212 box, you can check out Fox Acoustics. Mm-hmm. They make the loudest ported box. If you want a pretty box, frostbiteboxes.com. Mm-hmm. You can pick up a pretty box, and what I mean by pretty box, and they're reasonably priced, and they look pretty. You can pick the color. So this is the Frostbite box here. This was the 4/8. This is for an F-150. This is a 4L7T8 F-150 box from Fox. Frostbite boxes. There we go. Too many F's in these things.
Talk about the
Oh, hey, I don't want to look at me. Fernando's getting excited over here. We just got a delivery from Audio Control. We have the latest LGD. So these are the LGD 60s. They just sent it. Chris Bennett just sent us these. Make sure you give Chris Bennett some love. He's out there at SEMA slaving. And a new DMRTA because, well, the reason why they love to send me stuff is because when they want to know how to break something, I can break it. I guarantee I have broke more DMRTAs than you could ever possibly imagine. But the reason why that's a good thing and why they send them to me to break is because every time I break one, they learn what I did and they try to fix it. Well, they actually do fix it so that it doesn't happen to you guys that have the DMRTAs. So I love things and I take care of them, but I don't know, man. I can break stuff. I am great at breaking things. I broke Fernando's the other day. Chris, of course, sent us the replacement. We'll send this one back and they'll fix it. So thank you, Chris, for sending us that. And then also we got the microphone kit. So this is the 10? Is this the 10?
This is the 10.
This is the 10. So make sure when you get a DMRTA, you pick up the microphone. So this is the 10. It is set up to work with the DMRTA. It comes with a cable, plugs right in. You know what a lot of people do is just stick it into the top there. A lot of people like to do this, and we've seen some of them, they Velcro them right to the headrest, just like this.
I'm trying to find the hole.
You got a kid. We know you can find it. So they'll actually Velcro. They make a Velcro strap, and they'll attach it right to the head. I was going to say stop turning. It'll just sit like that right on the headrest. And it's perfectly workable, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's scroll through here. Okay, thanks. Then I need to stick with two-way. I have Focal 4-channel. Oh, 80 watts. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work good. when you guys going to talk about how the Fernando Met show started working together? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, that should be a show in itself, I guess. That way we can just reference people to go look at that. Although the story is so much fun.
It's I mean, it's okay, you know.
Like I like to say, I've said the Stanley 20 stories, man. Stanley's had one of the things he told Kevin Smith is find 20 stories, just keep telling them over and over again, because you're always meeting new people and people always want to know how we met and how we're working together. Is one of those 20 stories.
Right.
So definitely we'll get to that at some point. Hey Dean, if someone bought you some outdoor PA horns to install on the grill of a vehicle, would you politely tell them to leave your install bay? Believe it or not, I've done them many times.
Many times.
No, I'm not going to tell them to leave my install bay. There again, money pays the bills, people. Do I like doing them? No. But, what you're going to get is a PhantomWorks 5-star style install. So those of you guys don't know what PhantomWorks is, watch the TV show. I know they just canceled it. I've been watching Marathon. It seems like it's on every night this week. But, we have a lot of the same thought process there that if we're going to do it, we're going to do it our way, which means it's going to be overbuilt, bracketed in the car, take a hit, go, it's going to be silly and it's going to cost money. That is for sure, because we're going to spend a lot of time. I'm not just going to zip tie it into the grill of a car like a lot of these places do and be like, hey, bro, you got some horns in there. Hey, so.
All right, did you reply this one? Any problems with the L7 fitting up into the seat of the F-150? L7 is too big.
Well, the L7T.
The L7T,
the L7T will fit fine.
So the box they didn't show you is for the L7T's 8s.
They went 8s. We could have gone. They make a box for 10s and 12s.
Yeah.
We just wanted the 8s because 4.8 seems to be real popular right now.
Yeah.
Gately's killing it with all the 6.5-inch boxes he makes. Steve Mead put them in his car. So, I needed to say his last name. Still looking for a proper way to set the gains when you have a DSP between a head unit and an amp. Gain train. Do yourself a favor. Head over to Diamore on YouTube and watch a video called The Gain Train. Hopefully that'll answer everything you need to know about setting gains properly. They do use a DD1, but oscilloscope will work the same way.
For budget reason, it's keeping the stock Tundra head unit and replacing an amp and speakers.
Satisfactory solution. Here's the thing. The Toyota radio sounds like dog crap. If it has the JBL system...
problem.
Yeah, it's not the speakers.
No.
The speakers are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
They're just getting fed crap. It's like buying an amazing steak, or it's like buying a good steak and then baking it in the oven.
Yeah.
You can do it, but doesn't mean it's going to taste good.
Yeah.
The speakers in the car are fine. What they're getting fed is garbage. So you need to fix that, not the other way around. I would spend the money getting a source unit before I did anything in that car. That is one of the few cars on the road that still sucks. Now, if it has the JBL system in it, that's the only caveat. At that point, you can add an Amp Pro or an AR and be rocking and rolling. Because the problem is when you look at that car on a scope, on an RTA, there's a huge gap between the speaker in the dash and the speaker in the door. There's a chasm of sound that just is gone. Like a phantom in the night.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Dean from Jacksonville. What's going
up?
on? Chicago in the house. Hello from India. What's going on? Story should be a podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that, Bobby.
Yeah.
Look at Bobby throwing down ideas for podcasts. Bobby, maybe we should just hire you to be the podcast guy and just create ideas for us, because a lot of the time we get like writer's block. Tijuana, Mexico.
What's up, Tijuana?
Don't eat the worm. Here we go. Watched it, thanks. Okay, cool. Love the real truth. It's scary. I'm going to do a 3-way front stage of my 2009 GMC Sierra. I'm going to do a custom A-pillar. Do you recommend I aim them at the driver's headrest or at the center console? I'm using C5s. Speaker doesn't matter. If you're doing a one-person tune car, meaning you're just worried about you, the driver, then aim them at you. If you're planning on doing something where you're going to do a two-person driver or two-seat car where you're going to worry about what the passenger feels like, then aim them towards the center. personally, you're probably just going to aim them towards yourself. That seems to be the best way to do it. It's up to you. The thing is if you're going to go full active, it's really not going to matter much because you can have, it will matter as far as how sharp the tweeter is to you.
Yeah.
But if you want the definition of the tweeter, aim them towards your ears because remember every tweeter is very directional. Directional. The more off it is, the less sharp it becomes. So something to think about there. Ballpark time frame for 2019 F-150 amplifier, front doors, nav TV install. 2 days. At the end of the day, most cars take about 2 days. If there's any tuning involved, 2 days.
Yeah.
Thanks. You're welcome. Which preloaded subwoofer recommended for the KCA 8005 amplifier? Preloaded, we talking 1 or 2? If we're talking 1, the Comp Rs. Comp Rs is good. You could probably do like an L710. If you need to go truck mount, you go L7, one L7. You could do 2 Comp 10s or 2 Comp 12s.
Yeah, but like...
Comp, yellows. Yeah, yellows. So you do one red 12. You could do a square 10. You could definitely do a square truck mount. No problem. So yeah, there you go. Hey guys, hope everything is going well for you so much. Yesterday sucked.
Yeah.
What's up from Cali?
What's up, Jorge? Thank you.
I work for car, audio, no money. Yeah, I know that feeling. It's kind of how my job was the first 3 years I was employed. I don't think I took home a paycheck. Thank God I had a second job. I take that back. Car audio was my second job. My first job paid the bills, but yeah, like the first year and a half, I never took home a paycheck. I basically used it as I worked for car stereo, and then when I got done with my car stereo, I worked for home audio. So, or home stereo, I guess. Not to live in the past, but y'all killed it with the kicker tour video. No, that's not living in the past. That was like last month, the month before last.
Hey, that was awesome.
And it was bad. We're badass. We had
a
great time. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah.
We're trying to come up with some ideas to get them on board for some really cool ideas because my brain always is doing stuff. And I had some, the thing is we like to do stuff with other manufacturers. Like right now we're in talks with Audio Control. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of lining up our 2 schedules so we can get out there and show you guys that place. They're on board. It's just a matter of time. Mm-hmm. As soon as we have time. So we're thinking they wanted to do it sometime before the end of this year. It's not looking like that's going to happen, but there's early next year or late next year. So we're definitely going to get out there to Audio Control and kind of do the same thing for them because that's a lot of fun. But the thing is a lot of people are like, oh, Kicker, I'm so tired of hearing about Kicker. Kicker's on board for helping us out, okay? They support the channel. They support the show, You guys aren't ragging on Mark because all he does is talk about mobile solutions, and we love mobile solutions. They're a big supporter of us, too. We use all their stuff. Shout out to Mobile Solutions.
Yeah.
Mobile Solution stuff. So all the stuff we use is Mobile Solutions.
It's just about the manufacturers.
More Mobile Solution stuff over here. That box is filled with Mobile Solution stuff. So when it comes to manufacturers supporting us, like right now we're talking about Frostbite boxes because they're a supporter of the show. Helix, supporter of the show. The Mini DSP, loving that thing.
Bye, Jason.
Can't wait to get a chance to review it. So. We talk about the guys that support us. Now, don't keep in mind, though, we're totally unbiased when it comes to talking about the quality products and reviews. You guys know that. But when we're talking about support, I feel support and review, 2 totally different things. We'll give us our honest opinion, but when we're going to talk about, things, you get the idea, you know what I mean. What is needed to install a 6.5-inch in the rear doors? Seeing y'all did it, 2015 Nissan Altima. Any special adapters needed? Metra.
Yeah, Metra made...
Is that's Toyota.
No, that's
Nissan's over here?
Nissan is over here. Actually, Best Kits.
Best Kit makes one?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the one we're using? We're using the Best Kits. BKNSB710. Mm-hmm. Way to go, Fernando. Knows where all those things are at. I have no clue. Mark looks so tall next to both of you. Mark is tall. Dude, that guy's a damn giant.
He is
tall. So if you guys saw the build that he just obviously you saw the build he just did for the Toyota. That's Marty. All right, Sounds Plus. That's Marty Dean. So if you guys follow the show, we always go, Marty! AussieIronsUS.us. That's Marty. That's the Aussie Irons guy that is in the video with him, okay? He's about as tall as I am, and you saw how tall he was with Mark. He looks like he's like this, or more like this, okay? So, yeah, dude, the guy's freaking... Because I'm 5'8". What are you, 5'2"? 5'1"?
Yeah.
1 or 2, depending on my shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'll be a shot monkey. Relax, Bobby. Relax. You're way too valuable to be a shot monkey. But anyways, yeah, he's a tall guy. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, that was Marty. So, I mean, I don't have to tell you to go and watch the Mark video, but definitely go watch the Mark's video. If you guys, it's always nice to put a face to the name. Marty is a big part of the show. We talk about him a lot, just like Ada.
Aussie Irons.
Aussie Irons, big part of the show. Ada, if you guys have never seen Ada and you want to know what Ada looks like, if you go watch The Boring Life of Dean and Haley, there's a birthday show we did on that a couple weeks back, and that's his daughter's birthday. We went to Disney with them. They flew in. We went to Disney. We took them to the Disney's Not So Scary thing, and you guys can see what Ada looks like, because I know a lot of the times people just like to see what people look like. So, yeah. McNulty's been on the live show when we were at, but I don't know where to go to find him. But, yeah. So, anyways, Ada is brown. Yeah. So's Jeff. They have really good tans, apparently, where they came from. I'm very pale because I come from the north. It's just kind of happens. You come from the middle of the country, so you have that naturally... You're tan. Good. You're naturally tan. I'm not. See, this is my real color. Is this? See how pale? Yeah.
Wow, man.
Dude.
We should go to the beach sometime.
I hate the beach. Oh! Kids lost.
Yeah, sorry.
Kids lost. All right, guys. This has been the morning edition of 5 Minutes with 5 Star. The most hated aspect ratio in the 12-volt world. Yeah. No, Jeff is black. That's my guy.
John is black.
Okay. I know, it's crazy. I always think of the scene from Lethal Weapon, I want to say 2 or 3, where they're dealing with the South Africans.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "But wait, you're black." He's like, "Wait, you are? I am." He is. It's a great scene if you've never seen it.
Yeah.
Don't care. It's all fun. Hey, guys. Enjoy, have fun. Make sure you're following on Instagram, scrolling through all the cool pictures from SEMA, just like the rest of us schleps, so we're too dumb not to go. Next year, bro. Next year. Most hated data. You guys are awesome. That's why I say most hated aspect ratio. This shape right here sucks.
Yeah, you cannot turn it.
Because it drives... I want to go wide. I want to do this, but I can't. Unless all you guys want to watch the show wrong and then I have to read like this. Okay. All right, guys. We're going to head out. Tomorrow is Thursday, which is another day of the week, which means we'll be working.
Yeah.
Yay.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great time. Hey, Haley. Bye. Good day, Fernando.
Good day. Hey, everyone.
Doing some roadkill.
Hey. Roadkill.
Hey, you got your gloves on.
So many cats in this live, man. Not worth it.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Where's the speaker for this? Is that over on your bench?
No, it's actually...
You got it right there? Yeah. So check this out. So we've talked about these quite a few. I think we even filmed a video on them. This is the Kenwood 6 by 9
component.
Yeah, so this is the mid base. This thing is killer. Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
It came with the bracket.
It actually comes with the bracket for almost every car that it could possibly think of to go in. So that is also a nice addition to it. Yep. We haven't got to the top yet, so we don't know if it's the 2 or the 3.5.
Not yet.
But we have those in. You're just putting it in, putting in a little fast ring action.
Yeah.
Having a lot of fun there. Yeah.
Oh.
I know, so fun. Yeah. So for those of you, this is a 2019 Chevy Colorado, and the dash is gone and puked up there. There's still no T-harnesses for these cars that we've been able to find. If you found one, let us know for sure. But we still haven't been able to get one yet. If you've got the 2019, there is an enclosure that goes up underneath here to fit 210s. You pull out the whole seat rack. So So those of you unfamiliar with this car, there's this giant seat rack that goes here because the bottom of the seat, which is located back here, is actually held up by this seat rack right here. And that holds it up. Well, someone, I think it's Q Power, makes this rhino-lined version of the box, and this edge here is what holds the seat in place. So this goes right underneath. It's indented for the woofers. We're putting a set of Comp RT 10s in here. I'll get to your questions in a minute. It's gonna bang away. And then for room, there's no room underneath the seats. There's zero room, zero. But there's this gigantic back panel that goes across here. And there's air vents. There's one air vent located here. There's another air vent located here. This is the jack. And then this is a tunnel that feeds all these air vents. We've gone ahead and capped off the tunnel here. Put a piece of ABS, 1/16 of an inch ABS, as thin as we could get it. And of course some roadkill so that this is capped off. And when doing so, now you have all this room here that you can put an amplifier. The only problem is there's a piece of plastic that covers over it. So you are going to have to either put it behind the plastic or cut out the plastic, which we'll have some pictures up showing that more later on. But for the curious at heart, we're putting in a Q-Class 1005. We've made this elaborate mounting system that actually uses the factory mounting brackets, and we've put in 2 rivets that go here, and on the other side it kind of tongue and grooves into these 2 brackets right here. And then on the underside is where our rivets are. So they're hiding away where you can't see them because the plastic sits up flush on here. It's a big, huge plastic piece.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty exciting, right?
It's very exciting.
Yeah, I know. We should have filmed this one, but we didn't because it was just a weird hour. Came in late yesterday and we'd already started taking it apart.
Right.
So we basically suck. Hey guys, I have a question. I have a walled SPL vehicle and I want to have wire management like you guys do. Only problem is I only have about 14 inches between the studs of my enclosure to work with. Ooh, so you don't have a ton of room, that is for sure. I mean, it kind of falls into that category of just do the best with what you have. Lots of zip ties and just make do with what you got. Sometimes, like in the case of this, we're having to do some really creative wiring because there wasn't a lot of room in here. So we just make do, and you route wires where they need to go. It's kind of strange. Like in this case, the way the amplifier mounted is there's like a slight amount of room because this actually bows like this. It's curved, which is giving us just enough room to run wires behind the amplifier up, and they're gonna have to go across the top here and down because we can't go through this area. So I initially wanted to just come across the bottom, but then I remember we have the jack, so they can't go there. So, sometimes you just have to get creative with the wiring
From Germany?
Figure out how to get this stuff to work.
Panama City.
Peru's
in the house.
It looks like a very funny project. Sometimes. Yes, the 1005 is a 5-channel DSP'd amplifier. So we've done a full how to use these guys here. This is the Q class. So this one I think is like a berthed in at 1100 watts or something like that. So you have your 4 inputs, your four speaker outputs here. Your subwoofer output is here. It comes with the bass controller, which is this big guy right here that has the aftershock built into it. And then everything on this side, it can be used as a conventional 5-channel amplifier. Like you could just plug it in and do your thing. Once you plug it into software though, it shuts all this stuff off. So it kind of makes things really nice. So you can use it as just a basic amplifier if you want, or as a DSP. It's got 31 bands, 31 bands for each channel. Also, it's 5 times 31, crossovers, time alignment, whole 9 yards. Hey guys, my edge goes. Oh, okay.
You can call you.
Dealer for radio issues. Oh yeah, So might have to replace parts. How much does the change the tune? Well, okay, so the tune shouldn't change at all because it's a fixed level output into the DSR-1. So nothing there is different. So if they are going to replace the radio, it should just be a matter of plugging in the new radio and you're done. It shouldn't affect anything after shouldn't affect any RR stuff or AR stuff. Shouldn't have anything to do there. As long as you've backed it up on your iPad, which I know you have, everything should be fine. And it shouldn't even affect the
installation.
Yeah, it shouldn't affect anything. You shouldn't have to do anything other than just like give them the keys and say, fix my radio because it's a piece of crap.
Replace my radio. I'm from Ventura, California.
What's going on? Dude, we were just talking about I know SEMA is going on right now and everyone's super excited about SEMA, but Knowledge Fest Cali is coming up like the first week of February, and it's November. And I know Christmas is coming, and that's all that's on my calendar for the next 2 months, according to Haley. But, dude, that's fast. That'll be here in 3 months.
3 months.
3 months we'll be in Cali. So we have to figure out some place to go and hang out for the first day where we're not doing any trainings. And,
so
I know
whoever is in Cali.
It's going to be in LA, so I know that's like, that can, like Fernando wanted to go see Steve Mead while we were there. He's like, let's go see Steve. And I'm like, dude, he's at like the top of the state. It's like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Five or 8 hours. It was like we'd have to fly into his and then fly out down to LA. So might be doable. It just depends on, but probably not.
Yeah. Can I order the RR2 from you guys?
It's not available yet from anybody. The one I have is straight up beta. So it's still, but once it becomes available, of course.
Thoughts on the Kenwood DMX 706?
Yeah, it's a great radio. Yeah, I like it. It's got all the features. It's got all the radio DSP features of its big brother, the 9906. The only thing it doesn't have, obviously, is the better screen and the WXO, the super crazy audio grade components that come in those two models there. Other than that, it's great.
Marty J19 say the other day you say you don't like the focal auditor.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why? Like build quality? I recently purchased some, and I might return it if it has a quality issue.
Quality is fine. No problem with the quality. It comes into one of those. So there's reasons why everyone likes and dislikes certain things. Comes from bad experiences. It comes from things that you just, you might hear it and you not like it. None of those things were the auditor. What really bugs me about the auditor was it was a product that Focal brought into the line many, many years ago, and they tried to force it down everyone's throat. And they're like, you could sell it as something other than Focal. And it's like, you don't want to. It's inexpensive, for sure. It sounds decent. It's made to compete with the entry-level Pioneer and Kenwood and stuff like that. So it's not bad product. It's just not Focal, okay? It's not, it's like, think of back in the day when they took the Chevy Cavalier and put a Cadillac logo on it and called it a Cadillac. And if you don't know what that is, Jay Leno has one, so you can search like Jay Leno Chevy Cavalier Cadillac. Okay. It was not a Cadillac. It was just a car with a logo that said Cadillac. The auditor is an entry-level speaker that says Focal. It sounds fine. It looks fine. It build quality, perfect. It's just not Focal. It's just, that's it. That's what it is. It's one of those silly personal things that just, it's like, really, guys? No. Come on, man. It's not a Focal.
I
mean, it could be argued that some of the other Focal stuff isn't, but that is just an entry-level Focal.
I mean, you can jump from the auditor to the plug and play. I mean, the Axis.
Well, the below the Axis. There again, there's nothing wrong with the auditor. I mean, it's a great price point, and the speaker sounds fine. It's just the fact that they call it a Focal just kind of bugs me. I can have things that bug me. I have a lot of things that bug me.
All right.
I mean, it's just like prime example. Hertz makes the Uno. Really?
Yeah.
And that would be
number one.
And that would be exactly. And that would be the competitor for the auditor. Would be the Uno.
Yeah.
You know, I guess everyone has to have that entry-level brand to compete against Pioneer and Kenwood and all those other entry-level things.
Why not?
Yeah.
Hey, Dean, brother, any ideas why my car radio will randomly cut out and then come back on? Not all the time, just very randomly. And not that often. I also need a regulator, or I'm gonna need a second battery.
So it depends what you mean by your radio's cutting off. So if the head unit's cutting off is one thing. If the amplifiers are cutting off, it's another thing. If you're just losing sound, so it depends on what is cutting off. So
what type of car?
And what type of car. So
Maybe
I mean,
you have a brand new F-150 with the stop-start.
Yeah, stop-start. Yeah, that's, that's not as surprising. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that cause things to shut off.
Right.
That's where a digital multimeter comes in real handy because you can attach a digital multimeter to any power source behind the radio at the amplifier and just drive around with it on. And you can even buy one of those little cheap 12-volt meters that you're supposed to mount in the dash and just hook that up to whatever power source and run the wires up front so you can see what's going on. Mm-hmm. It's a great investment to figure out what is causing stuff to shut off. Because maybe nothing is losing power and it's a signal issue where the amplifiers are just clipping. We had that problem the other night. We were running into an issue where the amplifier was just constantly just shutting off for no reason. And it just turned out that it did not like the signal that it was getting because it was trying to mono it, and it didn't like mono. It was shorting out the other input. It's really strange. Think of like a Y jack. I've never seen anything like it, but it took us like 45 minutes to figure it out. Once let's just try this, and it's like boom, magical.
Yep,
we're like, that's weird. So even us, we get stumped too.
Yeah.
It's
exactly. Any recommendations on the set of Rockford components going into a convertible?
I like how he plays our YouTube in the waiting room behind the scenes. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll pair a single 10 Rockford Slim woofer.
Okay.
Loudness preferred over accurate. Yeah. Thinking of running the Rockford 5 channel. Well,
I was gonna say you better answer that one because you lost me a long time ago. So sum it up for me. What's the question?
Like T2s.
T2s.
Components. If you don't go like that crazy, T1s are fine.
T2s are louder.
Yeah.
Brighter tweeter, magical tweeter, magically loud tweeter for sure.
5-channel amp.
Hi, Gabby.
5-channel amp. Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do T2s, you'd want to go up to the.
If we
wouldn't do the 5-channel amp.
We need T2s.
Yeah, if we're going for loud, I'm gonna go with. If I have to go small amp, I'm going with I'm doing a T2, 404. I'm sorry, the T404 on a set of the T2s bi-amped, and then like a T. So I would have 3 amps.
Okay, I would do the 5-channel.
5-channel.
The 1000 and the 4-channel.
No. Do the 5. Better yet, the 5-channel 1000 and the 2-channel 402. So you do the 5-channel.
Okay.
Channel 1 and 2 of the 5-channel is going to power the tweeters. Channels 3 and 4 is going to power the rear. 5 is obviously going to do the sub.
Right.
On the 402.
Just the rear.
No. The 402 is going to do the front 2 mid bass.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the front 2 mid bass will get the 402. They'll get 200 watts of those. You get the 100 watts of the tweeters because you don't need it. And then the rear fill is rear fill. But then you get full active. Or use the bi-amp crossovers, which is still full active, and you get a lot of power to the mid bass, which is what you need. Wow, that was confusing. Welcome to our world.
Exactly.
Is there a drag strip behind you? No, right now it's an apartment complex. If it was making a lot of noise, there's some wahoo guys out there doing cable and whatever. Thanks so much. You're welcome. What's up, guys? Okay. Hey, Birdie said before 5-star you were at a shop cutting off factory plugs and doing hardwire all day. Is this true?
That is true. That is totally true.
Yes, Fernando was doing all kinds of.
I was doing bad stuff, man.
Bad stuff.
Bad business, bro.
So, we do. Okay, so we should do the Dean and Fernando story. I mean, I know somebody said a podcast,
the
but
only reason is like
bigger.
Podcast, yes, but not everybody's gonna listen to it.
I know.
So we should talk about on Saturday.
We should make a show, though. I mean, like a pre-recorded. I don't know. Do
Okay.
something stupid. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Just something easy for people to go watch. Any thoughts on new DS4 brands? D4S brand speakers.
D4S, yeah.
I haven't seen those. Have you seen those?
No.
I hadn't even heard of those. Send me a link. Talked to Paul yesterday. He recommended Rockford amps for the 2019 F-150 Limited with Bang & Olufsen system. I'm not familiar with Rockford amps. Any thoughts? So you talked to Paul there again. I don't know. I'd have to hear the conversation to figure out what it was you guys talked about.
Yep.
He and I have different approaches to how we sell things. So very rarely do we do Rockford amps and F-150s, so I don't know what the criteria was. So it would be one of those things that I'd have to talk to you and figure out why he recommended those amplifiers as opposed to something else.
What's up, Bobby?
He might have recommended them because you might have a stop-start vehicle. Instead of talking to you about bypassing the stop-start, which I would strongly recommend doing in 2019 F-150 if it's a V6, because they suck.
But still, the Rockford, they don't...
Well, yeah, but I mean, he might
compatible.
have. Well, I think the T's might be compatible.
They still
I don't know.
9-something volts.
Is it still 9 volts?
Yeah.
Well, still 9's pretty good though. Either way, I don't know. I would have to talk to you and figure out what's going on there. But yeah, you could probably give me a call and we can talk. Towards the end of the day, it's typically better than during the beginning of the day because usually towards the end of the day we're kind of wrapping things up and I can chat on the phone.
Yeah.
Do y'all do big systems? Depends what you mean by big system. If you're talking like building door panels with 27 louds in the doors and stuff like that, no. Do we? I don't know what a big system is. You'd have to do more there. I mean, we do systems.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a 415 massive Sumo. What amplifier would I run? Big one. Yeah.
No
or
kidding.
Different ones. I mean, I don't know what they charge every 15.
I mean, Massive
but
makes
it has
big
to be,
amplifiers.
it
Yeah,
has
get
to be
big
something
amp.
man.
Without any brand bias, have you heard a noticeable difference from one brand to another head unit source from the main company, Sony, Kenwood? Yes, that's actually a real simple. It has nothing to do with bias. I can tell you right now, last year when we did the radio swap out in the Camaro, where we put the Halo, we put the 9905, and we put the 4400 in like the course of, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? I can tell you right away, there was a huge difference in sound quality, a huge difference in EQ, a huge difference in performance. And that is nothing like we didn't know. Each radio manufacturer tunes their radio to what I like to call their house sound. Each one is uniquely different. I often tell people that, like, if you've grown up and all you've ever owned is a Pioneer, switching to a Kenwood is going to be a bit of a change because it does not sound like a Pioneer. Pioneers come out of the box default to powerful, and they are one of the other features buried deep in the menus turned on. So they're designed to put in and immediately go, oh, wow. Kenwood is not. Kenwood is designed, comes flat out of the box. Nothing is turned on. You have to turn on everything. Alpine is very similar, but Alpine tries to add their We're audio grade line to the thing, and they have a unique sound as well. Out of the three powered into the factory, what's that Boston acoustic system that came in the Camaro, because that's what we did. The Pioneer sounded as close to the factory system as we could get.
Right.
The worst sounding one was probably the Alpine, and the one in the middle that we just kept playing with and could get close but not was the Kenwood. Now, that was only because we were trying to integrate it into that factory amplifier, and if we would have just done speakers, it would have been a whole different category. But we were just trying to figure out, okay, if a guy comes in and he has this system, what are we going to sell him? If he wants it to just plug it in, then the Pioneer was going to be his best option to make it sound as close to factory as possible.
Yeah.
So, luckily we can do those little tests every now and then.
All right, so no rear fill in the convertible. Nothing really fits in the rear location on the Viper.
No.
So, okay, so you can go with a 1005.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. So it was a Viper. I didn't know that's what it was.
So 1005.
Yeah.
Plenty power for 110.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. You can do the T too. That'll work. Yeah, the T also. There we go. What did I miss? The answer I had to talk to a customer. I don't remember what the question was. But that's a beautiful thing. You can go back and watch these.
All right. Question. I have a Mustang with the DSR1 and the Mosconi D2. 104 DSP.
Okay.
Plus the 501. Does it make sense to switch to another amp combo to get rid of the double DSP? Right now, I only use the DSR1 as an integration device.
No, that's perfectly acceptable. So that brings up an interesting topic. So Mark is the guy in charge of iData. He works for he does RR and AR, so that's his project. So all this non-alarm stuff is all his baby, and we haven't talked this week because of SEMA. I'm almost missing. Anyways, we talk a lot, and one of the things we talk about is the problem with AR is right now we only have the DSR1 as a integration interface for it. Now it's cool because it has a DSP built into it. However, it's very limited. It only has 8 channels of DSP output. So what to do? Well, using it as just a preamp is a perfectly acceptable thing to do. So you say, okay, I just need a set of RC outputs, or I just want to use the subwoofer output, or I just want to do a real basic setup and then have it go into a bigger DSP. The DSR1 is great for that. What it allows you to is if you buy, let's say, one of the bigger DSPs that doesn't have a global EQ, which is where you have 31 bands or 30 bands for each corner, every speaker, and all that fun stuff there. And thank you for the love.
A lot of love.
A lot of love. Loving the love. What you can do is the DSR1, because it has the basic EQ, which is the 7-band standalone EQ, you can use that as a great preamp EQ. So everything's set to 0 out of the DSR1, no time alignment, no nothing, no colorization, just RC outs to whatever you need it to do. If you want to use 6, you want to use 8, you want to just use 2, doesn't care. Tune your car, and then you can go into the DSR1 and you can just be like on your phone, because you can have your little phone here, and let's say you want a little more treble, a little more bass, a little more mid, and you can use that real simple setup out of the DSR1 in order to do that. It's perfect for that. The thing is there again, it's trying to convince people that you're buying this whole DSP EQ that you're not using any of the features in it because you're going into a better. So it's like, yeah, if I had my way, they would make a different product that's just a preamp, but then it's an amp pro, and yeah. Anyways, that's a whole nother debate.
All right, I'm going to replace all the speakers on my 2019 Honda Accord. What do you recommend if I want to keep the stock radio?
It all depends on what the factory system you have. If it's the premium sound system in that, it's got an amplifier in it. It's all EQ'd. It's really crazy system that comes out of that. The tweeter is super limited from the factory where it's crossed over. Is super limited. We just talked about that in that. Did we do a show? We did a show on that, right?
We did a
huge
show, yeah.
Anyways, the tweeter is super limited. So if you're not going to be doing amplifiers, then it doesn't matter. It's not going to get any more range out of that tweeter, and that's a really nice tweeter. It's just limited. If
you're going to change something, thinking about putting something like a DSP, that would change.
Yeah.
Amplifier with a DSP though.
I mean, the simplest. So we. That's right. It was on one of these shows we did. The simplest solution for the Accord, if it has the premium sound system with the subwoofer in the center channel, is to do the Alpine 805.
Yeah.
805.
DXE.
Yeah.
OA50S.
Then those are zeros. So 0850S is to do that. Has 6 channels of input, and also combine that with the their PDX 5-channel amplifier that they have, the new one. What you do is you take that has a 6-channel input, 6-channel high-level input in it. So you take channels 1 through 4 are going to be your front 2 tweeters, your front 2 mids. 5 is going to be your center channel. 6 is going to be your subwoofer. Then through the audio mixer in it, you can adjust what you want them to be. Your rears are going to just be disconnected, and you're going to use the DSP to create the rear channels, because it has 12 channels of output out of that. There are 10 channels of output out of that DSP. So channel 1 and 2 are going to be your rear tweeters. Channel 3 and 4 are going to be your rear mid bass. Channel 5 is going to be your center channel. 6 is not going to be used. 7 and 8 is going to be your front tweeter. 8, 9 is going to be your, or whatever, your fronts going into that amplifier, and then the 5th for the subwoofer. So all the channels are there. Maybe it was channel 6. Either way, if you need more, we can talk.
Yeah.
But those two combinations will allow you to get great, simple, wonderful performance out of that until someone comes out with an amp pro for it.
And if you want to have an idea, you can go watch the video when we talk about the installation. No, in the Trusted Tech.
That was in the Honda.
That's a Honda Core. So
Honda Core.
No,
that was a Civic. That was a Civic. That was a red Civic. Either way, I don't know. It's all confusing. We've talked about stuff like this.
I have an audio control DQ DX.
Ooh, okay. So that's the RCA'd DEQ 61.
How do I set the gains on my amp using the DD1?
Watch Diamore's video called The Gain Train. I'll call this evening, hopefully, to discuss my ideas. Okay. Can't say I'll be there, but I'll be there.
Alright. This one. I like to run 8-channel JL BXI. Link it to the 1001.
Okay.
The subs, full active. I'm not sure.
That'd be awesome.
About the speakers up front. Want to come visit you guys in January. Want a clean sound.
I would look for something that's efficient, because that 8-channel amplifier is not a ton of power. We used the Audio Frogs when we just did the one we did. Those were sounded freaking great. I mean, really good matchup. I talked to a couple people, and they were like, I don't know if it's going to be enough power. It was plenty of power, because the Audio Frogs, this is the GB series. It just went, I mean, it couldn't have gone better. Yeah, and that was actually, we only used that because we used that on the sub. So you'll be able to go, because we had a 3-way set up front, all GB, Audio Frog stuff, and then we used the channel 7 and 8 bridge to the subwoofer. So if you're going to do a sub, off the 1000, you can get even more fun and excitement, because, those GB 6.5s could have eaten a lot more power than we're giving them. They just sounded really good.
Okay, I don't know why you guys don't sell JL. It's very popular in Tennessee.
JL is popular here. There's
anywhere.
3 dealers around us that already sell it, so we can't get it.
No, it's like,
we do what we can. I mean, we carry so many brands as it is. I mean, we carry Rockford, we carry Kicker, we carry Audison Hertz, we carry Focal, we carry Morel, we carry Kenwood, Alpine, Pioneer. We carry a few Sonys, because those just come from a distributor.
Oh yeah. Audio control.
How did I forget audio control?
Audio control.
So I mean, there's plenty
Phoenix
of
Gold.
Oh yeah, Phoenix Gold.
I mean, we carry so many brands. They honestly, like, I mean, if we have JL, that's fine, but
don't get me wrong. I would love to have my hands on that Fix 88, because it's 8 channels in, it's 8 channels out, and it's freaking awesome. For what it is, but we don't. So I have to find something else and just work with that. I mean, the Alpine DSP, for what we were talking about in the Honda, is perfect, because it allows you to retain all vital features, because nothing actually goes to the radio. The only thing you absolutely have to keep is the center channel, because that's where all the audio comes from for navigation and Bluetooth.
I didn't know. Okay, so this is a good one. It's just me has noticed a significant sound improvement from the iOS 13. Feels like 1K to 3K has up and up.
Really?
I don't know. I haven't.
So, I mean, I haven't really paid much attention to it, because for one, the speakers in my car suck, and 2, I use the Wi-Fi, because it's wireless CarPlay, as opposed to plugging in. I don't know. You'll have to pay attention.
I have to pay attention. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I don't doubt it. I mean, Apple's constantly making stuff better.
Yeah, right.
So, who knows? The only reason I ask is because I also a line driver. What was the question? I don't remember. Let's see what Vince asked. Hold on, let me see. Line drivers, gosh.
Vince, I have an audio control DQ DX. That's his question.
Oh gosh, yeah. That and a line driver? The DQ DX has a line driver built into it. Why would you want a second line driver?
Two is better than one?
No, it's not. That's a good way to blow stuff up. I mean, you shouldn't need a line driver with that product. I mean, it's got plenty of output voltage for it. I mean, yeah, I don't know why you'd want a line driver. I honestly don't know why you'd need a line driver. There's very few applications nowadays that you need a line driver if you're doing small systems. If you're doing a big sub-amp system where you have multiple subwoofer amplifiers and you're not daisy chaining them, meaning going master slave, I could see where a line driver is helpful. For example, like in that big SPL truck that Kicker provided all the amplifiers for, they use Q-Class 1005s as line drivers for all the KX series amplifiers because it'll eat the voltage that those will put out. So from that regards, and they also, because they have like 20 of them or 24 of them or some silly amount like that, it made total sense. But, you know, in most systems, it's just two amplifiers. A line driver is not that necessary because most of these amps don't like that much power anyways. But, I mean, I guess. I don't know. I just haven't had anyone give me a really good reason to add in a line driver, you know, and gone, this is why. And I go, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Talk to Christian.
Oh yeah, Christian blew up his. Yeah, he loves his Phoenix Gold line driver.
Yeah.
He blew up his amplifiers because of it.
The 2019 Honda Accord doesn't have the premium sound system.
Ooh, basic system. Love that then. Yeah. So if you have the basic system on the Honda Accord, that is the Installer of the Year video that we did, the 5-part Honda Accord series that we did, 2019. Super simple. Oh, super simple. You pick up the Access DSP T-harness for it. And that's it. And then you can go right into a DSP. In that particular car, we did the Q-Class 1005, the same amp we're doing in this one. Magically, coaxial components up front. We did some coaxials in the rear. A subwoofer, done. It was super like, yay. But the non-amplified system in that is super simple. If you even want to go more basic, though I wouldn't, if you buy the Access DSP T-harness, you can always use the Access DSP. It's up to you. Whatever works. The new one, the Pro, is definitely better than the ones we've worked with in the past, so if you pick up the Pro, that's cool. Otherwise, get an amplifier like the Q-Class 1005. Done. Super simple. We actually fit it up underneath the seat.
Why has mobile audio never moved to the coaxial? Seems like one interconnect will be more efficient than 6.
Oh, it just can't. Okay, so originally all audio. So the question is, why don't we use just a coaxial? I mean, you can't really do it over a coaxial unless it's a digital coaxial, and that just introduces the fact that it's a more expensive product. Originally, we had DIN cables, which were very specific. So if you had an Alpine radio, you had an Alpine amp, use DIN cable to talk to the two. Back in the day of the Orion, and for those that aren't familiar with what a DIN cable is, a DIN cable is this connector right here on the side of the amplifier. That guy right there is a DIN cable, and what that would do is that would allow us to go in and out of devices super simply. It's still 5 wires, but and it worked at like 15 volts. It was phenomenal. There was no noise at all. Anyways, you know, ToshLink is kind of the current day version of what we're hoping that eventually will never happen, is we'll be able to just ToshLink out of a radio into an amplifier. It avoids all noise and whatnot, but it's just, the thing is RCAs are cheap. Developing amplifiers that have DA converters into them apparently are expensive. I mean, you want to look at what I mean by that. Just check out how much one of these guys costs over here. Both this stack of amplifiers, they all have ToshLinks built into them. That stuff right there, okay? And go check out the price on those. Those are stupid money. So, you know, when you're looking at a $259 amplifier, it's not going to have a digital input into it to allow us to use like a digital coax or a ToshLink or something like that. So we're stuck using RCAs. Yeah, it's just how it is.
This is awesome. Dean, where are we going to see the Stereo Lab, the Morels in your car, or the Fernando GS9 and the K2s. Ooh.
I know, right? That would be nice.
That's the question that we ask.
Hey, I ask that every day when we
All
go,
the time.
oh, and then we're here
When we're
working.
gonna
So,
do
also, before I forget, there is no show tonight on YouTube. I apologize, but last night Haley and I went and saw The Terminator. Enjoyed it very much. Give it a thumbs up. I had a great time. We got some popcorn and then we went out to eat, so we were out really late, and I did not get a chance to edit a video for today, so sorry.
All right, two questions.
All right, make
Two
them
more
quick.
questions.
All right, go.
You guys install a Kenwood 901 5-channel
Okay.
with the 2 on the DVC 10s. Okay.
Okay.
2 10s.
Okay.
Sub last few months.
Okay.
I'd like to upgrade to 210 subs. What subs do you recommend? Well, keep
Something.
in mind, it's only like 500 watts.
P1s. P1s would be good. Comps would be good.
Yeah.
Those are just coming off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Pioneers, the new champion or whatever they are, Pioneers.
Right,
Something that is a small magnet driver that has about a 300 watt power handle is really where you want to look, and that'll do that.
yeah. All right. The second one, 9705 Pioneer 5-channel, running mono into the front components of 4 ohm. If you add another tweeter, we will change the onload.
Yeah.
Mono left, right, third channel.
Yeah. So yes, it'll change the
It'll
unload.
change the unload.
It'll change the unload. So you don't want to do that. Not at all.
So maybe
Because you're already at 4 ohm. If you're bridging it, you're already at 4 ohm. That's the lowest it'll go. If you're going into a passive crossover, that's great. Mono left, 3-channel mode. No, don't add another tweeter. You're just going to make the amplifier go on more unstable. And the high frequencies are where you're going to notice the problem, which is adding another tweeter is only going to amplify it. So the first thing to go unstable in the amplifier is the high frequencies. It's a Class D amplifier. Doesn't like that. So you'll notice it a lot. I wouldn't do it.
maybe more power.
More power. More amps.
Another amplifier.
Another amps.
Another
More power.
amplifier.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
More power, baby. Tim Allen all the way. All right, guys, we got to get back to work. This has been 5 minutes of 5-star.
Correct.
The most hated aspect ratio in the car audio industry.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep saying it because I hate this stupid little box. One day Instagram may change it and life will be good. All right, until then, or tomorrow, whichever happens first. Good for you, Bobby. Hope you have a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen Star Wars Land. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. What are you looking at, man?
Auto parts.
Auto parts? Is this the new one?
Yes, that's the new one.
This is the new one. So this is the one we use today. Good day, everyone. Say hi, Fernando.
Hi, Fernando.
How you doing? Yeah? So we just got done with this. You guys saw this yesterday. This is the Colorado. We got this all finished up. Just got done tuning it and putting it all back together. In the back here, we went with the Q-Class 1005, and it fit perfectly behind the factory panel. So we went ahead and made a mount and then custom cut this to match this area here. So we have the same radiuses and whatnot to make that look extremely factory and all tucked up nice and neat. Then we can fold that guy up, flick the seats here. Hang on. Whoa. No, I'm good. I'll do it by myself. And so this is the subwoofer enclosure. We were talking about this yesterday. As you can see here, it has this little notch that the factory would sit on. They've built this into the enclosure, and it went up underneath. It's got 210 comp RTs in it, and it's wow. It sounds really good. Has this little area here for the subwoofers to play through. In the dash, up here, 12 volt news in the house. Up here in the dash, it ended up being the 2.5-inch kicker. Or I'm sorry, we used the Kenwood, so it's the 6x9 set, but we ended up using the 2.5s up here. The 3.5s were definitely not going to go the way this is molded and whatnot. And I will tell you, if you have one of these trucks, this is all one piece across here. This is all one piece. This whole thing is one piece. And there are 4 screws that hold it in place. So you have to take these guys off, and once you get the A-pillars off, there's a screw right here, and then there's a screw back here. And you pull those screws off, and then metal clips, of course, right? Yep, lots of fun. And then this whole piece will pop off.
It's actually thousands of clips.
Thousands of clips. There are so many clips in this truck. Oh my gosh.
Why would Chevy do metal clips like that?
Dude, there's like 20 clips that hold this on. It was ridiculous.
It's like insane.
So down here, this is, we put in the Q-Class bass knob. 1005. So this is their aftershock. We went ahead and put that in, and we I love it. We made this piece for it out of 1/8 inch acrylic, put our cool logo. That is where the factory cigarette lighter goes, or power port. He still uses it for his dash cam, so we relocated it here to the side because there's a tunnel right here that this could easily stick in. And then, because we wanted to put it right here in the center, but that's where the air duct goes. So we were just pop that out, put that in, and move that over to the other side, and it all worked out good. And then we used that to make that same shape. So the cool thing about having what do you need? You good?
I need a Hyundai.
That's those over there. The cool thing about having the laser is that you can make wood versions of them. So this is the wood template that we used to make it. First we were going to do an outline, and then we said no, we don't want to do an outline. But what that allowed us to do is once we have this, we can test fit it, and then we use this to tape into place, router it out, and then put our final piece in. So this makes fabricating so much easier. Mark's in the house. Say hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah. But yeah, so that made that real super neat, and it's a nice little finishing touch. Fernando wanted to put something in the car. We were originally going to think about doing it to the amplifier, but then I was like, we both looked at that, and we're like, man, that looks way too normal. Like, it looked, you know, because there's all these shapes here, and we're like, it just didn't make sense to go in and add a beauty ring around this when that was already matching the shape that it had. So, perfect. Of course, what's behind this is the magic. Mark says hi.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, actually, he says what's up.
Oh, what's
Give me an 80s what's up.
I don't know how to say it.
90s? You know?
80s. That was just like.
Oh yeah, you're
crawling.
playing G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
Then you gotta do the what's up.
What's up, Mark?
Anyways, so that was this. This is done. This is all set and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a base model Colorado,
Base model.
this is base model, doesn't have bows. I will tell you a couple things. There you go. She goes, what's up?
What's up?
Get a DSP. You definitely want a DSP. Right now, the 2019s, there is no harness for it. And according to who I talked to earlier on the phone today, we probably won't see one until June. However, you never know what Metro might come out with.
What's up, Peru?
So you do have to cut the harness. Make sure you leave long enough to reassemble the harness back together if you ever have to go back to factory. But I will say that what's coming out of the factory radio is, it sucks, but it doesn't suck that bad. And a simple, amp looks clean. Thanks, Mark. A simple tune will get you where you need to go, measure it up, and be all set and rocking and rolling. Yeah. I was impressed. Fernando was like, dude, you're done? I was like, yeah. Like
That was really
it was
quick.
definitely one of the quickest tunes we ever did. And then we hopped in and jammed out, and I brought Kevin from the hair place.
You guys remember?
Yeah.
No.
He never introduced. I brought him over. So I hop in the seat because Fernando was doing something outside. I was like, I need you to listen to it. Tell me what you think. And he was like, oh my. He's like,
Trinidad.
He's like, yeah. He's like, dude, you guys put a center channel on this? I'm like, no. Why would no? But it sounds really good. So
Yeah.
Colorado, nice. I will say when you do get the radio out, one of the goofy things about the new plug system that GM has is they only have 7 ports for fat wires in the new plug. Well, there's 8 speaker wires. So the what we call 3, which is the driver's rear door, positive is on one harness. The lonely negative is over on the other harness.
Oh,
It's all by
Have to be
itself.
lonely.
It's all by itself. So, but the funny part is on that
What's up,
harness,
Ray?
there's a hole empty for like another. So they could have put both wires on the harness, and they didn't. They chose not to. So Like, why would you do that? So we're sitting there going, wait, I'm only counting
7.
six speaker wires here. Where's the other 2? So it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. There's your tip for the day on the Colorados. Otherwise, just get a nice DSP, cut the back panel, cover up, you know. If you didn't catch yesterday's beginning version of this that we did, gotta love GM engineering. Tell me about it.
Chevy is doing things that, like,
they're doing mad things, man. Some of the stuff they're doing to the
man.
sound. I mean, they're going to Ethernet connections behind the radio now, so it's like, oh God, really? Oh yay!
Yeah. Hey,
It's just gonna make integration so much better. But if you guys didn't catch yesterday's when we started this on the 5 minutes, definitely check out Sunday if you have a Colorado and you can see the whole beginning and this finished conclusion. I know these aren't what you guys love, but hey, sometimes this is all you get. But a couple things. Do you have to use the center channel in a 2019? No, you don't. The center channel doesn't do anything. But if you have the BO system, you definitely 100%, definitely want to get the NAV TV A to B interface. All right?
That's the right
Go
way.
check out our installation video with the Raptor that we did. We show you what it looks like, and we did it the hard way, of course, instead of just a single DSP amplifier. But there was logic behind it when we initially did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely want it. Now, I will say this, if you don't want to buy the NAV TV piece because it is very expensive, it has come down in price since it was released. It is amazing. It's definitely the best of the best of the best. However, Metra just came out with their version of it. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but it is up for being used. The next time we do one, we're going to give it a go and see what it does. And theirs is a little bit more affordable. But either way, get one or the other. Don't try to integrate it in any other way. It's just silly to do that.
You're definitely one of those pieces.
Yeah.
Either one. Yep.
Yeah. Definitely want that for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Also, what I was getting ready to say is that if you guys caught the show this morning, you noticed it was back up at the regular time from days of old at 5:30 a.m. We've been trying to test for the last couple months. We've been trying to test for the past couple months after talking with Steve and when he releases videos and just trying to get a gauge as far as, you know,
hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
You know, what works for him, and he's like, you should try this. We're like, yeah, we'll give it a shot. I mean, you know, he's got a way bigger channel than we do, so.
Yeah, right.
And we tried it out
for a couple months.
Yeah. And after looking at all the analytics, you guys like the AM broadcast. You guys definitely like the early morning.
It performs better.
Yeah,
so.
people like waking up to 5 stars, so. Yeah, after a couple months of different times and, you know...
See, like him.
Yeah, he likes waking up to it.
Yeah,
so it's going back to 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
So from now on,
What's
if you don't
from
see
Germany?
a 5:30 a.m. release of the show, that means there isn't one for the day. So good news for some, bad news for other. Jason's in the house.
What's
up,
Jason?
bro? So that's kind of good news. That's kind of good news.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so you guys that have been missing for the past couple months, hopefully you haven't filled the void, or you just were watching the one from the night before.
Yep.
But Fernando, don't forget to do the thing the way Dean wants it to do. He did. Speaking of, you know what? Pop the hood.
Oh, we're doing the thing?
Yeah, we're doing the thing. Pop the hood because we were talking about if you
What
guys caught the Dean and Fernando story last night.
Mexico.
You were working on the fuse holder underneath the hood, so obviously it's done. Let's take a look at that. Get to see the Fernando fancy fuse holder. Come on, man, you can do it. And there it is. So you went ahead and put a threaded nut cert over. Was this a threaded nut cert?
Yeah.
Okay, so threaded nuts. Oh, wow. That's. Oh no, you ended up with just a bolt.
It's just a bolt. Yeah,
okay, so yeah, because you can get to this side. Yeah. So there's a bolt here, and I like these fuse holders from Stinger mainly because they come off. So the mount stays, these come off. It makes servicing so much nicer. But okay, I can't get it back on.
That's fine. You only have one hand, man.
Watched the Dean and Fernando live broadcast yesterday. That was awesome. Well, you guys were asking for it. See, look, he did it so smooth. Now, all right, so why we got the battery open? Let's talk battery talk here for just a second. Remove the top for me, if you don't mind, kind sir. Go ahead and remove the whole thing. Oh, nice picture of your hair. Now, if you look at this, this is the factory fuse distribution that they make. This is all one big I'm sure, $100 fuse for this, and then they got a $250 here and a $300 here. But this little pigtail right here is what feeds all this. And it's real tempting to do what they did here with this little tiny wire and this external fuse is to go to this. It's real tempting. This is way easier than trying to get through this. This is a new bolt. In order to, they hammer the tips of these bolts in so that you can't pull the screw all the way out and lose it. It's a nice idea, but it's bad because when you're trying to do what we do, when we need to take this whole bolt off so we can put our ring terminal on, well, bad things happen and it cross threads. So what you end up doing is pulling it out as far as you can, and you either grind the top off or you take bolt cutters, get in there and just snap the bolt all the way out, and then you put a new bolt in. But this is where you want to go for power.
Peter.
Not here, because this, even though this is a nice solid piece of what looks like 4 gauge and it's like 3 inches long, it's taking care of all this crap here. That's what it's designed to do, is worry about this, not your new amplifier. That stays on this side right there.
Right.
So just, and the other thing on GMs, a lot of people, they have that little jump point that's in the V8s. It's over here. I've seen plenty of people hook up to that. Don't ever do that. You want to get onto the post. There. This is where you want to be always. And then, boom, done. Snaps right over it and looks real cool. Good job. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah? Ooh. So, did you see? You haven't watched The Boring Life yet?
No, I
this
haven't
past
watched
weekend?
that one. No.
So, funny story about this truck and The Boring Life is that Haley and I were looking at these. And I won't give it away for you. Right. But needless, you should just read the title of The Boring Life. Okay. And you'll kind of get where it kind of goes. But that was funny. Haley was like, "Oh man, really? You put that in?" And I was like, "Yeah." Speaking of batteries,
No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. What were you gonna say?
No. Jason said, "Could you add the nut to the other side?" Yes, I could, but it's kind of like uncomfortable to grab it if somebody's gonna do like a service or something.
Yes.
If they're gonna pull it out, they might lose the nut.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to do that. At least the screw is long enough. So they grab the nut and the screw is still there. So that's it.
Good enough. Speaking of batteries, beating on a system and everything cuts out, like vehicle knows too much power being used. Power is straight from battery. Okay. Is that a question? I thought it was a question.
Sound like vehicles.
Kind of sounds like a question.
Power is straight from battery.
I mean, make sure the engine's running. Just go with that one.
Yeah.
You prefer that Kicker 5-channel over the 5-channel Fosgate T amplifiers and similar power and DSP? Oh God, yes. I'll take the Q Class 1005 over most 5-channel amplifiers. Big fan, not because it's Kicker. I could care less that it's Kicker. It's, obviously it is a product that fits the need and it does it an exceptional job. That's all I care about. The name that's on the box doesn't really matter so much to me, unless they're speakers, in which case,
in the end of the day, they're tools.
But I like speakers. But yes, the amplifier. They're tools. An amplifier is a tool. Okay, it's a tool to do what you want it to do. I know people have this love affair with these things.
When people say, "Okay, which one you prefer, or which one you like, or what do you recommend?" It's like we say, this is tools. This one actually. The first system that we come out with this changed. Yeah. Because that was 2 amplifiers.
Yeah, because originally we were going to do... Kenwoods, because when we first got... A lot of the time... So, when this truck first came in, this is the first time we worked on one. We didn't know what we were doing. We went out there, and, he's like, I want to do subwoofers. So, we did some research. We found 2 different enclosures that... that worked for this car, so we ordered both because we didn't know which one was actually going to fit. And I know the simple solution would just make your own, but we don't build boxes. I mean, we have all the tools, but we don't build boxes. The sawdust, and it's a mess. So, and that one's nice and rhino lined, and it frickin' pounds. Yeah. So we're good there. So the next solution was trying to figure out, okay, it's either going to take 2 8s or 2 10s. What should we do for power? And we didn't know if we were going to be able to go behind that panel or not, so we sold a system that was going to real thin. Kenwood makes the Exelon 4-channel and monoblock that are only like this tall, so like we knew they could slide in behind that seat and be mounted to that back panel. So that was the original deal, and we were going to do a DSR-1 somewhere in the car as the DSP. Once we got the car in here, we knew we had to. The first thing we did was make sure the box fit and figure out what boxes go in there. Speaking of boxes, Frostbite boxes. I need to call them because I have to get I got 2 boxes I need to check out.
Yeah.
If you're not following Frostbite boxes, head over and follow Frostbite boxes.
Beautiful boxes.
Beautiful boxes.
Yeah.
We talk about them all the time.
Yeah.
New sponsor, love them. Anyways, so once we figured out that the box fit, it was pull that back wall off, which there's like 50 clips holding that back wall on, guys. Holy Jesus. And there are 2 different types of clips. One is a silver clip, which is for plastic, and one is a gold clip that is for metal. And the gold clips for metal, oh my gosh. It's like, dude, don't try to pry them with your hands. You got to get in there with a pry tool and pry them off. It's kind of like for all you old guys that remember the old Chevy overhead plastic and the back plastic, you had to get in there with that 2-foot long pry tool. Same clips, man. These things blow.
What's up, Joey?
Anyways, once we got that out, we found out that we could pull that air vent out, and we had all kinds of room. It was like, all right, redesign the system. Let's scale it back and make it way simpler.
Do you
so
take
now
a picture of the mount?
I took a picture of everything.
Okay.
I'm gonna put them up tonight.
I
know you didn't. I'll send you. I got a couple of them, so I got
fine.
different angles. I'll send you one. But yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah.
right tool for the job. This was much easier to do. This one amplifier had a DSP 5-channel, same amount of power going to the car. Audison Voce 5.1 worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, there's 2 amplifiers that are in that class that you buy. You either buy the Voce 5.1 or you buy the Morel 5-channel. Depending on how much power you need, one of those 2 amplifiers will get you what you want. The reason why those 2 amplifiers are very similar, they both have an AB class front end for the mids and highs and a class D amp for the sub. So pick one
and run with
it. Both of them are sexy.
Beautiful boxes 5 times.
Beautiful boxes 5 times.
That's
Beautiful boxes, beautiful boxes, beautiful boxes, beautiful boxes, beautiful boxes, beautiful boxes.
That's too slow.
Beautiful boxes, 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 beautiful. What do you want me to do, guys? I talk for a living.
Can you fit a 15th and a 4th?
But I will always say, now we're going to go ahead and annoy the piss out of someone, because there's a couple guys on here that every time I say, now we're going to go ahead, lose their stuff.
All right, go ahead and let's keep reading.
Okay. Can you fit 15s in a Ford Fusion 2015? That's a big back there. I wouldn't see why not. I mean, yeah. Might be a bit on the small size. Well, no, a Fusion. I mean, that's a big back. I mean, it's a 4-seater, so you got plenty of room back there.
Yeah.
Fire them up.
Yeah.
Fire them up. Maybe put the port towards the
Okay,
back.
I put
Steve
2
Meade style.
15s in my Accord.
Yeah.
On the Accord.
I had 2 15s in my Renault Encore, so I mean, that was nothing.
No, yeah, you can put it on.
Tri-Saturn Iris. Ooh, that's a good one. Iris wrist. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. Iris wrist. No. Wrist. Wrist watch.
Watch.
Irish. It's Irish.
Okay, what are we playing right now? Seriously?
Wrist watched. Irish. Yep. Nope.
That's
that one was the other one was easier. Irish
Recon Auto.
I'm not saying I speak English I speak English, but not very well. I mean, you guys have caught the show.
What's up, man?
This guy's from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Voce 3-way active.
Weather's
4
wonderful.
Hertz, Milli Pro 3s. Way active, so close.
So we just got the 3-way Milli Pros in, I think, because he hadn't ordered them in the past for whatever reason.
Okay.
So we just got them in. I haven't had a chance to look at
What's
the
up
mid-range
from Mexico,
on that
Jonathan?
one yet. So I don't know. I don't know how to. I honestly don't know because I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. Most of the time when we're doing 3-way sets, it's either going to be the Morel or the Focal, just because that's what we've always done. Now that the 3-way set for the Millis is finally in stock, I'll have to readdress that. But that's what we got so far.
I mean, they are amazing, both of them.
I mean, it's like wow,
Exactly.
Voce 3-way or Milli Pro 3-way.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. I was just rereading it. My bad.
Come on, man.
Sorry. The easiest way to think of that is they are very close. I would describe it when I think of Audison and I think of Hertz, champagne and cheese, beer and pretzels. These are going to be a little bit more out of control than the Voce.
I mean, beer and pretzels, they're very expensive. we talk about
it's,
Mille
it's
Pros.
what's going on.
I know,
It's
but
what's
like,
going on, okay?
It's a very expensive beer.
Yeah, but you're not, champagne and cheese while you're having fun driving on. I don't know. That's
No. It's just
thoughts on the
different animals.
DM608. Well, I'm supposed to have a DM608. Then when I say thoughts on the DM608, I can pull out the DM608 and go, "Here's my thoughts on this." But I
agree with Jason.
haven't got it yet.
Yeah.
And it's not Chris's fault. Chris took care of us. This is. I actually traded someone. We had two 810s. I traded an 810 for their 608. I know what you're thinking. It's crazy, but it just kind of worked out that way.
Okay, I haven't heard the Voce yet.
You haven't heard
No,
really?
not yet. Yeah, no.
Okay.
But the reason I like the Focal K2s is because they're so bright, like right in
Yeah,
your
the
face.
Voces aren't going to be
Exactly.
bright in your face.
So, I
the
don't
Hertz
know.
would be more bright in your face.
Yeah. What door speakers do you recommend for a 2014 Honda Accord?
The ones that you can afford.
6.5 did they fit?
Are we going? It's a 6.5 and a tweeter.
Yeah.
So if you all right,
Depends, man.
here's the deal with the Accord. The way that speakers fit, if you don't have some form of
make
a
a podcast
saw to cut the hole for the basket, because you can get the adapter. Do you know which adapter it is? The new one? Is it
The Honda Accord?
Yeah, is that the best kit? Is that the 518?
Yeah.
Is it the 518 or the 524?
No, it's the 524.
So BKHSB 524 from Best Kits is the adapter
No.
for that.
No, you still have to cut the size.
If you get a deep 6.5, like the ones we're talking about, like
Yes.
Volches and Focal, okay, the baskets are really
Yes.
big.
Yeah.
And the way that speaker is shaped, it has these two little humps in it that a shallow speaker will fit in. So, like, if you get some KS kickers, boom, they'll drop right in.
Yep.
No problems whatsoever. Sound great.
Yep.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Have a nice day. But if you get something big, forget it.
So we put the flax, right? And
Yes. You got to cut it. You got to modify it. Dean's new favorite 5-champ is going to be the Audio Control 513. Ooh. Yeah, the thing is it's going to be a while before the D comes out.
Yeah.
And I know the
I'm
insert
excited
joke there.
because
But
I love audio control.
Audio Control, that amp's going to be next year.
Because it's like 2 ohm for the K2s.
Chris is trying
Perfect.
really hard to get that amp to
Awesome.
just be like badass. And luckily, okay, one of the things I like about Audio Control is that Chris talks about everything right out in the open. So there's no secrets. So like when he tells us stuff, chances are good he's already told 50 other people. Like the LC 1300, they already got the shell out on the floor showing people, look, this is what we're working on. So the nice thing is that allows us to be able to talk about it. The downside to it is it allows us to talk about it. We're not going to see that amplifier till next year. We don't know when next year, but it's not coming out till next year.
Right.
And that's what kind of stinks. And of course, the LC will be out before the D. And the D, I hate saying this because it just sounds so bad. The D series amplifier is the amplifier I want. Okay, there we go. We added more words to make it sound better because you know where that was going to go.
Yep. So I was just waiting. I'm like, okay.
The D comes out. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
See, the DSP is what I want. Yeah, anyways.
There you
Okay.
go.
Thanks for answering. You guys are awesome. We try. You had to go there. I had to go there, man. It's like
You gotta go, man. Come on.
It's like LC. What could we say about LC? It's like JL. I hate acronyms. Okay, Fernando will tell you first up. I hate acronyms. I can't stand them. I just don't like them. They don't. My brain doesn't work as an acronym like all these other people.
It's funny because
Directed.
They
Yeah.
use so
Oh
many
my God,
acronyms.
that was the best part of that
Oh,
show.
yes.
When Justin was on from Directed, the
Justin
DEI
is like,
show.
okay, so you guys remember
Whether you
the
love
blah, blah,
Directed
blah,
or
blah.
not, you got to watch that show just to hear me be like, stop using acronyms. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
And then he started telling you like, okay, so you remember the D something blah, A,
like,
A.
no, I don't.
What is that? Oh, they
every
learn
time
with
we'd go
this.
to a Directed training, I'd be like, can I get a glossary of all the terms? just like, so because apparently my brain doesn't work that way, man. It barely works as it is.
I have a crunch.
Exactly. Give me the D.
Okay.
Yo, what's up? Okay, you're gonna read the crunch one. Go ahead.
Okay, I have a crunch 4-channel amp for my
Chihiro.
Chuchero,
aka loudspeakers.
Yeah, everything is set up right, but keep getting power, light, and protection. Like it's at the same time what I'm doing wrong.
So
Okay, yeah.
gains. It's either
too high.
gains are too high or the ohm load is too low.
Correct.
That's really what it comes down
Check
to.
the ohm load.
Did you read Andy's post that he put out last
Which
night?
one?
The one about setting gains that he's going to put up this weekend.
No.
He's about ready to put something up that apparently is just going to probably tick a lot of people off about setting gains and how gains
Silverback.
should be set properly, and that the current tools that everyone is using, i.e. DD1 and Scope, is not the best tool to use when doing DSP work.
Okay. Well,
And I know where he's going with it because I was talking with Ada, and I like the idea there, but it's going to be confusing for sure, and I understand why it's there, and that's why. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Oh, definitely it's gonna be interesting
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
it's been.
So if you guys don't know what we're
talking.
talking about with Andy, it's the owner of Audio Frog. You can find him on Facebook. It's a great place. You can just follow him. You don't have to friend him. You just follow him. And he always puts out between
Great content.
words of insightful experiences that he has. Mixed in between that is always some really amazing learning stuff on audio. So that is definitely worth the follow. Give him a follow.
Yeah. It is really hard to learn how to use a DSP. I'm thinking of three-way active and tuning myself to learn.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, if you caught the show, one of the shows we had Jeff Smith on, you know, he basically, that's what he did. I mean, that's what we did. You sit in the car. I mean, there's certain concepts you can kind of grasp at this point.
Yeah. What's
that
Johnny?
you know, you can glean from the internet now and like have ideas of what you're supposed to be looking for. But at the end of the day, it's turn frequency up, turn frequency down, turn frequency up, turn frequency down. See which frequency works better. If frequency doesn't change, turn it back down. If frequency does change, is it for better or for worse? It's kind of like going to the eye doctor. Is increasing or decreasing this frequency having some form of effect? If it is, great. If it isn't, put it back to 0. And then you move to the next one. The tools to set that make that easier in that when you have an audible DSP, so there's two forms of ways, an audible RTA. So there's two types of RCAs. You have RTA, not RCA. You have two types of RTA. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, apparently I don't talk for a living. If you have one that uses a microphone that listens to audible, and you have one that reads the electrical current, and they do two totally different things for different parts of the installation. So the electrical current RTA is the one you want to use at the beginning of the install to figure out what the heck is going on with the signal that you're going to use. So like in this car, we have a RTA device that allows us to take the left channel and the right channel, which is made by Ken Ward, which is the, he's got a name for it, but it's a summing. And so you play mono pink noise, and you can then connect both speakers, turn them on and off, and see does the left and the right, do they increase or decrease at certain frequencies to see if there's any type of filters or time alignment or anything like that happening in the car. And we use that because there was some...
Come on, let's walk this way.
There was... Where were we going this way?
Oh, yeah.
What's up
We
here?
can see the back.
There was some form of... Or there was people talking about how there was some form of delay on the driver's door that there wasn't in this particular one. So being able to measure that electrical signal is important. But then when you're done, a tool like the DMRTA allows you to do both. So you can do both with one tool. So that's why we promoted the hell out of that tool, because for $700, you get a phenomenal tool that will allow you to do pretty much anything you want to do in car audio. See everything, do everything, and that's why that is an important thing to have. But $700, I get, is a lot of money, but if you're trying to take this seriously, it's not a lot of money.
Correct.
Especially if you spend like $4 or $5 on a system, or several $1,000s on some speakers.
Yep.
You don't want to break them.
No.
And then you're the only guy that knows how to use it. You tune all your friends' cars and charge them $300 or $400.
I'm down.
It happens.
Yeah.
That's what Jeff charges.
So Craig is the manager of the Frostbite boxes. So check them out. This is the box right here. It's upside down, but
So they did a the owner has the F-150.
Yep.
So when they made this box for us, this according to them, this was like their idea. This was the first run.
Mm-hmm.
But then they made him a version of the box
With the different
where they put these panels in right
black.
here.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That
it
was
is
sexy, yeah.
super sexy.
I feel jealous right now, man.
You do?
Yeah.
Why?
I like that one.
I mean, but
Yeah.
this one is better. Now,
no, this
you
one
can
is
get different color tops.
Yep,
So,
correct.
like this one, they went red because our logo, as you can see, is red. So they wanted it to match. So whatever we end up putting this in, someone's gonna get a cool red box.
Yeah.
But this is made for the other reason why I wanted to go square is because right now it is very difficult to find boxes for the square woofers. You can pay a fortune to have one made, which there again, that's up to you. You try making one yourself, but if you're like me and you don't want to breathe sawdust anymore because you're past that point in your life, it's nice to be able to make a phone call and get a quality built, awesome box. These are stacked fab corners, so it is, it's phenomenal.
It is nice.
CNC'd. Oh, it feels so sexy.
Yeah. Okay, so Jason say if you could put Morel in the Camaro, what would you use?
If I couldn't put Morel in the Camaro,
Color.
it would be Hertz.
First?
It'd be the Audisons. It'd be the Voces.
The Voces?
Yeah, I'd put the Voces in.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it's one of the brands that we have to sell,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the Voces. Let's get out of here because the buzzing is gonna drive me crazy.
Okay.
Nothing beating on the yeah, definitely.
Okay, I can't locate the ANC for the 2010 Acura TSX.
So it's a little box either above the glove box or under the center
Oh,
channel.
on the center channel, exactly.
So
What
there's
are
three
these?
places. There's three places that Honda puts the ANC mic.
Mhm.
Underneath the center channel on the top of the dash, it's a box that's fired forward, plug is on the bottom, it's very hard to get
I'm
to.
gonna sit down.
Above the glove box, plug firing back. Or below the radio, plug firing back.
Happy Friday, man, from Arizona.
And it's this big, it's this tall, and it's like 3 by 1 by 2.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
But those are the three places that they put those things. So it's got to be one of those. If it's a
Friday.
brand I don't sell, thank you for asking that because that's actually where I was going to go with that. It would be Audio Frog. I would buy the Audio Frogs.
Yeah.
I would totally do Audio Frogs. Now that we've actually got a chance to work with them a little bit and hear the GBs, I would totally do those.
I want to hear the blam.
You know why? What's that?
The blam.
The Blam? Yeah.
Jason Degas?
Yeah, the Blam. No, that's cool. And there again, I can only go off what I've heard. I haven't heard the Blam.
That's so
well,
good.
you got to hear the
That's
Blam
what I'm saying. On Knowledge Fest.
in Tony D'Amore's car.
Yeah.
Because that's what he has in his. Did you guys check out Tony D'Amore's bad crossover video? Did I blow my $5,000 pair of tweeters or whatever the heck it was? You should check that out. It's really cool. It shows that even smart guys can be in a hurry and make mistakes. How's the mid bass on a GB60? Freaking amazing! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, Jason, I forgot about Dine. Ooh.
Oh, Nine Audio.
Well, see, because all right.
I mean, there's so many brands.
Well, no,
that you can
okay,
pick.
but okay. To be fair, the reason why I didn't think of Dine is because Dine sounds so much like Morel. All right, there's so many crossover points between, and I mean not crossover points meaning correlations between the two, not actual crossover points as you guys are thinking of. That I would want to do something so different.
Okay.
So different. Yes, the
expensive?
the frogs are expensive. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
They're definitely.
I mean, I think he has.
But there
different
again, that's what
lines.
we're talking
Yeah.
about. I mean, we're talking about expensive speakers. I mean, right?
If that's what you want.
I mean,
yeah.
if we're building the dream system,
There you
let's go
See?
dream. I mean-
Somebody put the price. There you go.
yeah, there you go. So, right in line with just about everything else crazy out there.
Correct.
Now, keep in mind, the reason why we don't talk about price on the show is because price is regulated by your wallet,
And
and
we
it's
don't-
up
and-
to you. And I really don't care.
And we don't try to sell you nothing.
No,
Like we don't try to sell you. Oh, you should buy this. No, you.
I mean,
you ask.
I mean, we might say, yeah, you should buy this because it's
Right.
really cool and awesome, and
Correct.
it's going to do
Yeah.
the job. But then you might be like, dude, I ain't going to spend that kind of money. And you're like, oh, well, you asked, so we answered. That's why we recommend so many different things, because we know it's like, hey, in one breath. Okay, so one of the cars I built was a Dodge Ram, and at the time, Kenwood had an incredible employee purchase program, like stupid employee purchase program. Guess what my car got? Oh, Kenwood Exelons. That's where I developed my love for Kenwood Exelons, because it was like, dude, these things sound great, and they are affordable. This truck sounds amazing, and it is affordable, like stupid affordable.
Oh, yeah.
But there again, it's what it is.
Yeah.
What Morel wasn't the Morel founder by the. So here's the deal. When it comes to the Morel guys and the Dine guys, there's a lot of weird stuff going on there. I tried to have someone explain it to me once, but he worked at Dine, so it was very Dine biased. But I don't know. And there again, there's some weird stuff that happened back in the 80s between those two companies. So we'll just leave it at that. I don't know. And I don't know. You got to remember, Morel's Israeli. I don't remember what Dine is. I don't think they're from Israel. But I don't know. Yeah. Could spend $900 on a speaker that plays a small frequency. Well, they play a lot of frequencies. I'll tell you that. And it's really nice. I'm still jamming my Kappas. Exactly. You know, there again, there are cheaper speakers. Okay. Best mid-bass for the buck. Which ones? Mid-bass monsters. What are those?
I mean, the 7-inch Kenwood.
Kenwood 7-inch, baby. Best mid-bass for the buck. Honestly, if I gotta like pull parts from things, that mid-bass, phenomenal. That tweeter, not so much. However, if you go active on it and take away the passive tweeter, then you can get some really nice sound out of it. They actually tune that tweeter back some because they don't want people to blow them out.
Right.
German, I think. Yeah, that was my thought too. Oh no, they're Danish. I love Danishes. Cheese Danishes are the best with like cherries. Ooh.
Stop from New York.
Chick-fil-A. You guys are Chick-fil-A fans? What's the best milkshake in the world?
Well, I like strawberry.
Cookies and cream though, right? From Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
You can get a strawberry cookies and cream milkshake from Chick-fil-A.
All right, let's go.
I did last night. So good.
Wow,
dude,
man.
because I'm like you. I like strawberry, but cookies and cream always wins. Haley goes, why don't you just order both together? And I was like, you can do that? She's like, yeah, dude. Watch the internet every now and then.
Vanilla.
So growing up,
I love strawberry.
But no, strawberry cookies and cream from Chick-fil-A. 2 pumps apparently on the strawberry.
Ooh.
Haley told me. Wow, mind blown. So good.
Okay.
JL 1500V Fosgate 1000 punch. That's a punch, man. I'm going power. Gotta go power. I don't know if those are priced compatible. I mean, the punch 1000 is going to be about 1200 watts. That's still 1500 watts. Still way bigger than the punch. So
what's out from UK?
German Maestro. Very nice speakers too. There again, I don't think I've had the opportunity to hear those. There's a lot of speakers out there that are on my list of speakers that I want to hear. But I can't recommend something unless I've actually heard them, because it's that whole moral code thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Butterscotch. Ooh, Butterscotch Butterfinger Blizzard. There again, I'm an Oreo guy, man. I grew up making my own Oreos. Do you think the JL12W6V3 are top 5 SQ subs? So the W6 is an impressive SQ subwoofer. I would definitely go with yes on that one.
Consider it, yeah.
Yeah, because
They're awesome
that's what it was
subwoofers.
made for, and it does sound really good.
Yeah,
You know,
they're
but then
awesome.
again, you know, like the R-type subwoofer, in there again, much cheaper, very good SQ subwoofer. Very good SQ subwoofer. The X-type, more power, only comes in a 10, totally SQ subwoofer. So those are a little bit more reasonably priced compared to like the JL. But let's be honest, man. You know which one that, okay, the woofer that totally surprised me, totally blew my mind, was the Hertz. The 12 that we put in the back of the Honda in that small sealed box.
Hurt the Focal, no?
No, it was the Hertz. We put a Hertz. Yes, the Focal Flax we did too.
Yeah.
But the guy that did the Hertz did the 1005. We just did the front stage upgrade where we put the Milli Pros up front, 6 tweeter in the Acura, and then we put a Hertz 12 in a seal box. Remember, it was this little shoebox type thing. You remember that was the white one we did a couple months back.
Okay, let's go with that.
Okay,
Yeah,
dude,
okay.
that freaking blew my mind.
I honestly like the flags. The flags, that was like, wow.
So with the Mobile Toys box.
I mean, for trucks, yeah.
Well, no. They make the one we put in was in the ported mobile.
That was
toys
in the ported.
box.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
yes,
That was
yes,
the Flax
yes,
pre-made
yeah,
box.
yeah,
You can get.
Chris made that.
Yeah, that Mobile Toys makes for Focal.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was impressive too. But
yeah.
I mean, it was a big ported box with a bunch of vinyl on it. This was a 6-sided square cube, minimal amount of airspace in the back of a Honda or an Acura TL. It just freaking like wow! Oh my gosh, sounding amazing. Yeah, that was crazy. So the Flax sub is amazing for SQ. Oh yeah, totally, Jason.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking. All right, so Jason, I got to tell you, the other day I watched your review of the Utopia M's and the little end part there. No, trust me, just no. You'd be better off with the Flax.
With the M's?
No, with the Flax over the M's.
I mean, I don't think the M's is a speaker for me.
Well, it's definitely not the speaker for me.
No.
I mean,
No.
they're a very good sounding speaker. If you're listening,
yes, yes.
like if you're listening to high-res audio all day long,
Correct.
that's the speaker to have.
I
But
just want to drink some,
cheese,
I don't know.
is that the wine and cheese?
I don't know.
Will the Audio Frog 1.5-inch GB tweeter fit in the F-150 factory tweeter location? No, it won't.
Oh no, they're huge.
They're huge.
Yeah.
They're like 2.5. No, that'll
right.
never go in there. You'd have to make a new A-pillar.
Hey guys, I have a 2014.
Live at Disney. What's up, Bobby? Okay,
What's
go
up,
ahead.
Bobby? 2014 Honda Accord Sport. I had a system installed done, and I'm using a 2500 Hyphonics Gemini Mono. I also running a Crunch 1200 4-channel on a stock radio, but I get a feedback.
Of course you do.
Yeah, it's stock radio.
Well, no, it's how did you integrate into it would be the
What do you
question.
use?
And both of those amplifiers are really not made for stock radio integration. Those amplifiers are made to plug into an aftermarket radio. So they don't have the noise suppression built into them that a higher end amplifier would have. So you really need a good go-between. So I mean, if you use something like an LC7i, that would be the minimal best that you could use. But you really need a good high to low level adapter out of that head unit into those amplifiers in
That's
order to
what we have
reduce
to
the amount
start,
of
yeah.
noise. The other thing too is that you have to keep those gains low.
What are you
God,
talking about?
low, man,
You
low.
gotta keep the gains all the way up.
No, God, not on those amplifiers. Keep the gains low. Keep the gains low. Bigger amplifiers, yeah, keep the gains low.
Alright. Did you read this one? They dropped the price on the Alpine A times 100 DSP amp in UK.
Did they?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Got one immediately for my next bill. Let you know how it goes. Oh, cool, man. That's
Yeah,
nice.
so for those of you that don't follow Alpine that closely, Alpine actually has an 8-channel DSP amplifier that is like it's kind of like a Prima. It's kind of like the ARC and everyone else that has the 8-channel DSP amplifier. They didn't bring it in the United States for some reason, probably because the 0850S doesn't sell that well, only because nobody knows what to do with it because it's 12 channels of DSP with 8 by 25 watts. So it's one of those things that it's like, hey, that's the perfect thing to use, or I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But Bobby, you suck.
Because he's in Disney.
I know, it's where he lives. Our lower price Zapco amps good. I have not had any experience with the lower price Zapco amps, but I'm assuming just with the quality that we have with the Zapco that we've been playing with,
The DSP?
as far as sound quality
Oh my
goes,
God, man.
yeah, I would say yes.
It's
Plus, when you look at the guys that are dealing with that,
Yeah.
they're SQ guys, man.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean,
Yeah.
Clifton and Ben,
Yeah.
dude, those guys live and breathe.
It's
I mean, it's SQology. Those are the SQology guys. So if you don't follow SQology on Facebook, follow those guys. But Clifton and Ben are the two that are dealing with Zapco
Oh, yeah.
and hybrid. And yeah, that's
it's
what they do. I don't think they're gonna promote something that sucks.
I still haven't heard the 4 brush that they have, or I don't know
The
which
what?
one is that. The 4 F-150 that they have.
They have an F-150?
Yeah.
Oh, was that at Knowledge Fest?
That-
Oh yeah, we
it's
never
always
got a
been
chance.
an
Yeah, we
Knowledge
didn't get a
Fest,
chance to
man.
hear.
Come on.
Dude, we didn't get a chance to hear nothing.
It's a red one, a big
Yeah, I know. I remember.
one. Real life.
I didn't even get a chance to. What's in the JL Audio 13W7 League in your experience? So the thing is the W7 is an expensive driver. So back in the day, I would have said the Solo X because those are big I'm not going to say American built woofers. I'm just going to say American company woofers, where it's like name brand, like JL, like Kicker. Rockford has the T3 driver. There again, these are woofers that are made by these big name companies, and they are big priced woofers. That's where like your Sundown and your Scar and your FI and all those guys, all the Down for Sound guys, came in with their woofers that are much more reasonably priced and similar experiences. However, you know, you have to wonder, is it because the JL name is on it or the Rockford name is on it or the amount of technology that goes in it? And the only reason why I say that is when we look at like this woofer right here. All right, so this is the Kicker L7Q 12 inch. All right, it fits perfect right in there. They spent, okay, most people think if you put a big hole in the bottom of a woofer, air is going to come in, suck in through that hole, and then blow out through that hole, right? That's the idea. And yeah, that's what makes sense. And that's going to cool the woofer. But that actually doesn't happen. What happens is it sucks in the air, and then that air pretty much stays in that area, okay? And even though the woofer is moving, it's like when you see those T-shirts floating in the windows, okay, and they're not going anywhere. That's what happens to the hot air inside of the woofer. It just sits there. Kicker found this out on one of the first batches of those woofers because the heat wasn't moving through the pole piece, even though the engineers designed this elaborate system to move air out and whatnot. Wasn't working. They had to, I think he said they spent $110,000 doing thermal imaging. They probably bought the damn camera, knowing them.
Just 110, that's it?
It cost $110,000 to redesign the magnet structure of the woofer in order for the air to come in through the bottom and push out through the sides in order to properly cool the woofer.
Insane.
Yeah, so things like that are big companies like Rockford, Kicker, JL can do that companies like those others, you know, Sundown, Scar, and all those guys, they don't have that kind of money to do research on woofers. They just build a bigger woofer and they go, it didn't work, throw it away, they build something else. It's way easier.
Right. He's going active over passive. Worth it? Or is there a huge difference when you go in?
So there's a couple different, all right, here's the deal. School of thought. And this is like we've talked about this for 3 weeks now. Passive versus active. All right, passive, you're stuck with the cross. So, all right, if you're crossing a tweeter over at 3200 hertz, you're crossing a tweeter over at 3200 hertz. Doesn't matter if it's a cap and coil or if it's an electronic device doing it. The difference is you're going to get a couple different options as far as the crossover goes. So you can have a 12 dB crossover, you can have a 24 dB crossover. So if you're using a, let's say, 24 dB Linkwix-Riley crossover as opposed to a 12 dB Butterworth crossover, well, there might be the bump issue, the phasing little 3 dB up or down with the Butterworth crossover that you'll eventually lose with the Linkwix-Riley going to 24 dB. So there's that. The real benefit comes in with the volume control ability between the speakers. So when you buy a set of coaxials, a set of components, the tweeter usually has an attenuation circuit, -2, 0, or +2. That's all you get. So if you're lucky enough and that your tweeter falls into that realm, you flick that switch and it solves that issue. Because remember, tweeters are extremely directional and they're extremely loud. If a tweeter's aimed at your face, that's all you're going to hear because it's going to oversaturate everything around you. So being able to go in and control the volume of the tweeter, meaning A, turn it down, never turn it up, always down, that's going to give you a lot more control in the system. Now keep in mind, a lot of that can be done through the equalizer because you can tune the system down. But if you could just gain it down and put a better crossover on it, you'll accomplish the same thing. The other thing too is now you can put more power to the mid bass, okay? Because you could, let's say, put a bigger 2-channel amplifier just on the mid bass and because mid bass is hard to produce and it takes more power. It's just like a woofer. So you can put more power to that mid bass, get more power out of that. The big argument as far as why you go passive versus active really just comes down to, they say the passive system robs all the power. No, not really. I mean, yeah, sure, it's going to take some of the power away because but it's not enough to be like, oh my God, you're just so losing all your power.
Mhm.
No, it's a little bit here. The scary part, of course, is once you go active, if you don't do the math right on the tweeter, you blow up your tweeter, you got to blow in a set of tweeters. Granted, you could blow a set of tweeters on a set of passive crossovers if they're cheap crossovers. But the other thing, too, is it depends on what you're buying. So, for example, like if you look at the kicker, Anyways, if you look at the Kenwood Exelon high res speakers, okay, they have like a 50-watt power handling capability. The reason why they have that is because, for one, they're extremely efficient, and two, they have the minimalist amount of crossover components built into it. They actually designed the speakers to use the natural roll-offs of the speaker as the crossover point, so that you can get an amp that only has 50 watts, very efficient, put it on there, and boom, they're freaking loud and just blowing you out of the car. So there's a lot that goes into it other than just saying, I should do passive because he said I should do passive, or I should do active because he said I should do active. There's a whole bunch of things to consider. What do you use for a 7-inch fast ring? It'll actually stretch a little bit, but they also make an 8-inch fast ring now, and of course the 6x9 fast ring works really well too.
Right. I think Walt 3854 sent you the address.
For?
I don't know, for the disc, I think. That's Walt, remember? He sent you the address. Address.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, come on, man.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. The disc.
Come
Yes,
on, man.
yeah. No, I got you taken care of. I got a stack of stuff sitting at home that I got to get out, so you're all good. I got your address. It's all good. Yep.
How will I install a huge system in a 2019 Dodge Challenger?
Well, the first thing I'd start with is figuring out which form of integration you're going to do, whether you're doing Amp Pro or an AR. That is the most important thing.
If you have the premium sound system,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So you just need to figure out which way you want to go. Amp Pro or AR. If you want to pull out the factory amplifier, you can go AR. If you want to leave the factory amplifier, you can go Amp Pro. As long as you have the 8-inch screen in there, either one of them will work.
Yep.
Next, you're going to go off to decide how much subwoofer you want, and then what speakers you want to put in there. Keep in mind, all this has to be in a realistic budget. When you're designing your system, budget is key. However,
Everybody
it's
has a
not
budget.
the end of the world. So you just have to be realist with it. So when I start talking to somebody, I try to find out what type of music they listen to, what their expectations of the car are. And when talking, I can kind of get an idea of what the budget is just by when they're looking at you funny as you're asking these questions, and all they really want to do is add a little bass to the car. But, you start to talk to them about things, types of speakers and whatnot, and then you can kind of get an idea on the budget. Let's say you're building a car and you're trying to do it more budget-minded, a little cost-conscious. Kicker. See, the Kicker and Kenwood both start with a K, which means my mind is always going to screw them up. Dropped on my head too many times, apparently, or too much bass rattling around. Kenwood makes the Exelon components, like we put in this Colorado light here, we put the 2-inch in the dash, and we put the 6x9s in the door. Those things sound amazing, and they sound amazing in the Chevys and the Chryslers and the Toyotas, and they're very price conscious. Okay, so you could conceivably do a set of those in the front, a set of those in the back, 5-channel amplifier, or if you want more bass, a 4-channel amplifier and a sub-amp, some form of integration, and be out the door rocking and rolling. And you're not killing the bank. However, you could also just build what we call the front stage system. That's where the Amp Pro comes in. The Amp Pro is designed to just integrate with the factory amplifier. So we take a nice 5-channel amplifier like a Q-Class 1005, as long as the car does have stop-start. We'll put a set of high-end components in there, either the either the Hertz, the Morel, or the Focal, active, and then a subwoofer in the back. And that's what we call the front stage upgrade. It adds bass to it because the car never has enough bass, and a really nice front stage. And then we just EQ it into the system, lower the rears a little bit. If it has a center channel, that typically stays. It's just not as important anymore. Our system's going to sound way louder and typically outperform the center channel that's in there. And then you're good to go. And you spent a couple $1,000. So it just depends. Now if you want to do 412s in the back of the car, well, that's a whole nother animal in which to contend with.
Slow down, man.
It just depends.
All right, so I'm going to get a Kenwood 906S and some XR 7-inch components. would you recommend the Kicker Key for easy EQ or Pioneer 5-channel for more power?
So I'm going to tell you, the Kicker Key has a ton of power. I mean, it's silly how loud that thing actually is. I mean, we did one last week again, and every time I do one, I'm just amazed at what it can actually do. So what car? I don't remember what car that was. So we put the Kicker Key in 2-channel mode, meaning that it was active front stage. So it was on
the components.
It was on the components up front, and then we had a sub, and then we actually changed the rear speakers too. But dude, oh god, yeah, ease of installation for sure. Kicker Key makes everyone a genius when it comes to tuning, because you're done with the car and you're like, yeah, I did that. Ha. Yep, I put that microphone right on the headrest right here. Yeah, look, watch here. Sit and listen. Sit and listen. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn it on. Ready?
Now, if you go with the 906S, the Kenwood, and the XR 7-inch, I will go with the
do the Kenwood amplifier.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, do the 901.5 Kenwood. Now, the nice thing about the Kenwood is that it does have a oh, we got to wrap this up. We're running out of time here, apparently. I just got the time remaining.
Oh, wow.
It does have a sub knob, and the Kenwood radio does have the DSP and whatnot. Apparently, there's a limit on how long you can talk on Instagram, and we have hit it. We're getting the remaining time warning.
5 minutes,
best 5-channel amplifier under $600. That would have been the PDX V9 back in the day. So that was the easy one there. It doesn't have DSP. DSP amps aren't going to be that cheap. All right, guys. It's 5 minutes. We got to go. Thanks for tuning in.
40 minutes.
I don't know how long it was. I wasn't paying attention. All I know is it's almost the end of the day, which means I get to go running. Yes. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the team. Frostbite Boxes. Go follow them here on Instagram. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, which means we got a live show to do.
Jason.
Keep Jason, keep the time. Stereo King's up there in Oregon, wearing the shirt right now.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Not right now, at nighttime. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.